A picture-perfect night in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Sewell Thomas Stadium, the setting for another top 25 matchup in the SEC. The 8th-ranked Alabama Crimson Tide playing host to the 22nd-ranked Arkansas Razorbacks. Glad to have you with us, everybody, along with former SEC player and coach Alan Dunn. I'm Chris Stewart. Great to have you with us, and great to have another top 25 matchup, which is basically filling in whatever SEC matchup takes place.
Absolutely. Every weekend you have two teams that are going to compete at the highest level, with two teams, one playing pretty good baseball in the Crimson Tide, Arkansas trying to figure things out. But listen, you're just trying to win a game, and starts tonight, Friday night, and we'll see who comes out on top.
No better position, other than maybe on the bump, than behind the plate to find your leader trying to get you out of a jam. And this young man, and Ryan Helfrich, certainly fits that mold for the Hogs.
This guy has been on a tear of recent games, and he's a guy that he's their go-to guy. He's one of the top players in the country, playing at a premium position. And he is one of the guys in that lineup that has been able, as you see there, the 7 home runs in the last 10 games. He's the guy that has been able to get things going.
Swings it so well, but also one of the best defensively as well. For Alabama, it's been what they've done on the Hill on Friday nights, which has gotten the most of the attention as of late. You see the numbers for Tyler Fay, but 3 weeks ago, he throws the first 9-inning no-hitter for Alabama since 1942.
And he has been the epitome of what you call an ace. He's been able to take the ball on Friday nights. He's kept the team in every game, and they're turning to him tonight to get this start off, because it's going to be a dogfight tonight, I assure you, with the Razorbacks coming in here.
And again, that no-hitter, impressive against anybody. You do it against the Florida Gators.
Listen, it is, you're right, a no-hitter, but doing it after you had dropped 3 at Kentucky, and you need a big boost, and he comes in, throws a no-hitter, and that gets you off to the road that they're on right now.
By the way, not only had they lost 3 in a row in the league, they lost 4 straight because they dropped a midweek game before he flipped the switch on this team that's now won 11 of their last 12. Here's the lineup for Coach Dave Van Horn's Razorbacks, as the leadoff man, Rutenbar, hits a chopper to second, and a great play made out there by Holt. And again, all we heard about Alabama was, you know, they're really good offensively, maybe as good as they've been. A couple of great arms, but defensively, maybe a little shaky. Hadn't been the case.
Hey, absolute. And listen, you talk about pitching. The only thing that complements pitching is defense, and that's a great play by Holt, going to his right, had the ability to jump throw, had the arm strength. What a great play to get that leadoff hitter out, which is always a huge thing.
Is indeed, as now standing in for the Razorbacks will be Koziel, Camden Koziel, the .307 hitter on the year, and my apologies. Looks like Koziel. Koziel is actually how it's pronounced. And the left-handed hitter digging in. Again, an average above 300, which obviously respectable at any level, especially in this league, but still not what they're accustomed to for the Hogs, as the count quickly moves to a ball and 2 strikes.
And for him, I mean, this is a guy that's been a veteran in their lineup. He's a guy that you come in, he was on the preseason Golden Spikes Award watch list, and you know, you just look at his numbers as a career. He's a .312 hitter with 20 homers and 127 RBIs in his career. So this guy knows how to hit. At this moment, he's kind of in that funk, and they're trying to get him out of it.
You see Koziel's numbers, all SEC second team, 47 career multi-hit games in a preseason all SEC first team pick. Hard hit grounder, but fielded easily over there by Vaughn, and the Tide get the first 2 Razorbacks here in the top half of inning number 1.
And that's a good sign. When you look at Tyler Fay, when he's on his game, he's a 4-pitch mix guy. He's going to work 93 to 96. with his fastball. But the thing that sets him apart is, one, he is such a strong strike thrower, and two, he's going to keep the ball on the ground. He's about a 50% ground ball pitcher, and he has the ability to punch guys out.
Tough break there for Bama's. The chopper went off the glove of Fay, and that allows the base runner Helfrich to leg it out. You know, we talked about his hitting. We talked about him defensively. That's pretty good wheels for a catcher getting down the line.
This guy is so athletic. And listen, I thought there was no chance, but LeBron, to even get to that ball to make it a play is, we know we're going to talk about LeBron through the night, but what almost a phenomenal play. But Helfrich, as you say, and I think they're going to talk about this one.
Yeah. They are discussing it, and I think we are going to have a review. I'm with you. I didn't think he had a chance. And they're checking it out on the review right now. There is our first base umpire and the crew chief, Kevin Sweeney.
After replay, the call on the field is out. Alabama still has 2 challenges left.
That is one heck of a play by LeBron, and phenomenal work by our crew to give you a perfect look as Alabama is perfect in the first. The Hogs go down 1-2-3. Tide coming to bat when we return. Hunter Dietz, the lefty, on the bump for the Hogs. 6'6", 235 out of Trinity, Florida, getting the nod and coming to the plate coming to the hill in the bottom of the first of a scoreless game between Arkansas and Alabama.
Hunter Dietz, Chris, this is what they look like. 6'6", 235 from the left side. You look at his numbers there, 3-1 with a 3.7, 41 innings, and look at the whip and look at the punch out, 69 punch outs to 14 walks. That's almost a 5-to-1 ratio. He's going to work 93 to 96 with a 3-pitch mix, with his slider kind of being a sweepy type slider that also can get on with some depth. But this is a guy that has just really come on this season. Not a guy that's had a lot of work prior to this season. He jumps in there on the Friday night and just the phenomenal numbers. And this is the guy that they're looking to get them off to a good start to try to win an SEC game.
Not an easy thing to do, obviously, in this league. Alabama has been rather successful, though, in large measure because the guy at the top of the order, especially in the last 19 to 20 games, 400 with 20 RBIs from Bryce Fowler in roaming center field, extremely well defensively also.
Perfect leadoff hitter. One, why? He's got experience. He's played in this league. He's got great discipline. He's shown that with his ability to take his walk. He also can put you on the scoreboard with one quick swing to get you up 1-0 because he has that type juice. He's going to steal bases. He is just an epitome of a leadoff hitter.
First offering to him misses a little bit high. Very little breeze at the moment as that one misses down and away. Spring has sprung, but if you're in the sun earlier today, you know summer is really right around the corner. It got a little warm at times this afternoon and will be the rest of the weekend, but man, really, really nice tonight as the Madison, Mississippi native takes a strike, and the count sits now at 3-1. Joe Harris calling the balls and strikes. We told you earlier Kevin Sweeney's at first, David Savage at second, and Vic Carell rounds out the crew down at third as Fowler draws the leadoff walk for the Crimson Tide. A nice way to get things going from the Alabama side, and setting the table for a great one.
And that's what he does. I have been so impressed with his ability to do that right. You see him get in the box, so patient, balanced, and now he's got that leadoff. He's got a chance now to do what his second skill is, and that's steal a base. He can run and get you in scoring position very quickly.
So here's Justin LeBron, one of the best players in America. LeBron exceptional. Even though the average is subpar, he is subject to explode any moment. Just 267 at the moment, but 11 homers, 25 stolen bases. Those are nice end of the year numbers, and we're just hitting the midway point of conference play this weekend.
Absolutely, and I'm sure he would be the first one to tell you that he really hasn't gotten his game locked in per se with the expectations that he has. That ball right there kind of got in on him. But hey, there's one thing you're going to say, Chris, is you look up. I think at the end of the year, you're going to look up his back of his baseball card is going to equal what he's done for 3 years.
No question, and he's going to have a highly visible baseball card probably in about 5 years.
Absolutely.
He's projected to be one of the top draft picks at the end of this season. And a guy with just unbelievable tools. This guy at the plate's been really good as well. Brady Neal fouling off the first pitch, 357, which is impressive enough. But you throw in 6 homers, a triple, and 9 doubles. 40 hits and 112 at bats, and by the way, 34 runs batted in. He's had a couple of walk-off hits for the Tide as well. He's been a real exceptional player at the plate. He's done a nice job in right field as well.
And he's doing the things that you look up. We talk about experience. This is a 4-year guy that's done it in this league. He's seen everything that can possibly be seen and does things like that. Just take your hit by pitch, you take your walk. Obviously, he's got home run power. He has been the cog in this lineup that has really been going ever since day one. This is the guy that has, they kind of say that straw that stirs the drink. He has been the guy in that part of the lineup, and now he takes another one. Now you got runners at first and second. Oh,
they are going to
Arkansas
appeal.
challenging the call of intentionally hit by pitch.
Actually, I think what he intended to say is they're challenging the call of hit by pitch and claiming that Neal intentionally stuck the elbow out there. We'll get a look at the replay in a second. All right. 2 things can be true, can't they? The elbow barely moved. However, the pitch was in the batter's box. So talk to me, Captain. Where do they go with that?
And he does not have to make a move to get out of the way of that pitch. You just can't have that, you can't go into the pitch. So they're going to look, I think they're going to look at this and say, was that enough, movement to justify what Arkansas is saying right now?
There was slight movement, as you'll see, but at the same time, it took place with his elbow still well inside the batter's box.
After replay, it was intentionally hit by pitch. The count is 0-2. Arkansas still has 2 challenges remaining.
Well, I guess that that little bit of
just
flinch was enough for them to overturn the call, and so now he's down in the count 0-2.
This has been the type of situation, though, where Neal's kind of gone yard after something like that's occurred. So let's see if that is indeed the case, or if maybe he gets rung up on a nasty breaking ball. 0-2 the count, 1 gone, a man at first here in the Bama half of inning number 1. Scoreless game. Bounces in the dirt and arriving easily ahead of the throw.
That's such a great read by Fowler. I mean, immediately, one, he had a great lead, and then he was anticipating that ball. And if you're not anticipating that ball in the dirt, it's hard to get to second, especially with Helfrich. I saw Helfrich throw someone out last week on a play just like that. So great job by Fowler reading it, getting in scoring position with one of your biggest RBI guys up.
That one missed inside. And the count evens up 2-2. That's a pretty good eye right there because that one didn't miss by much.
No, that was a great located fastball by Dietz. I mean, he ran that ball in on his hands, just didn't quite get enough of the plate.
That one's a tad low. Boy, from the left side, you're sniffing at 97. That is nasty stuff.
And this is where I think Brady Neal has improved so much. If you watch him in the box, he is so comfortable. He's balanced. He's shown such a good eye. But there's not a lot of people going to hit that pitch. That's an 85-mile-an-hour slider with depth.
Not a betting man, but I'd have put every chip I had in on him fanning after you were building him up just on that particular call.
You see that right there. That is a plus slider. Which is the pitch that kind of elevates Dietz to that next level. We see the velocities, 95, 96. You mix in an 85-mile-an-hour slider with depth, left on left. That's a tough at bat, Chris.
Is indeed, as Torres, the third baseman, has a weak swing and a miss to begin his at bat. How about the confidence, though, that Dietz shows? He's 0-2. He falls behind, missing with 3 fastballs, and then brings him up on a breaking ball.
Yeah, and those are the pitches that in this league, in these situations, that if you're an elite guy, you have to be able to make. And it is almost like he's probably sitting there thinking, hey, I do have first base open, but it's left on left. I'm going for the punch out right now and have the ability and, one, the execution to be able to do it.
0-2. A called third strike right down Broadway, and a heck of a job on the part of Dietz to battle back after giving up a leadoff walk. The lefty for the Hogs able to come back and get the tie in order. We played one, no score. Crimson Tide struggled in late March. They lost a series, got swept at Kentucky, then lost a midweek game. Oh, but did the tide turn? 11 of their next 12 were victories, putting them tied for third now in the Southeastern Conference. And by the way, Rob Vaughn getting a career milestone in the midst of all that. We'll tell you in just a moment about that as Nolan Souza stands in, takes a strike to begin the at-bat, and Rob Vaughn in his third year at Alabama, 150. That's a pretty good round number right there. You win 2 out of 3 times in this league. That's pretty strong.
Just what a phenomenal job he's done with this program. He's got those guys you see right there around him, the coaching staff. They have just continue day in and day out to get this program going to where they think it has the potential to go, and he is obviously the leader of the ship.
Coach Morrison, Coach Papio into the far left there. Coach Jackson, the pitching coach. JJ was a part of the previous staff, did a phenomenal job taking over back half of the season prior to Coach Vaughn's arrival. Phenomenal as the interim role. Led Alabama to a super regional host opportunity for the first time in 2 decades. And the first move Rob Vaughn made was, I'm trying to keep that guy as my pitching coach. I know you have great appreciation of that, but also understanding of why JJ was so important to what Rob wanted to build here.
As you say, he steadied the ship there, and he just kind of kept it intact. The players rallied around him. They played outstanding baseball. You go deep in the postseason, and they have a great staff here and doing some great things as they continue here. What are we? We're at the halfway mark almost, Chris.
By the time we get to Sunday, we will be
15 games in, and then that second half turn. So they're in a great position right now.
Zach Stewart with the fly out to left field. And again, the turnaround since March 20th. Told you 11 of 12. That's 3 series wins, all against ranked opponents. Outscoring them almost 2-1, and then or 3-1, I should say, and then pitching it so well, including a no-hitter in the midst of all of that. So just phenomenal run that Coach Vaughn's team has been on, and a big reason why is the guy on the hill setting the table on Friday nights. Reese Robinette, .239 hitter with a homer and 18 runs batted in. Standing in with a man at first, hits a fly ball to shallow left center field. Boy, they're battling the sun. Left fielder falls down, but I think Fowler wanted it the whole way. Kroberger, I don't know if he slipped or was just trying to get out of the way, maybe lost sight of the ball in the sun. Because, man, it is a tough sun to battle at this time.
Yeah, I think he lost it for a second, then rerouted. But that's a comfortability to know that you got Fowler there, the veteran, no panic, makes the play to get that second huge out of this inning. And Tyler Fay has an opportunity to have another really solid inning as he starts this thing off. But you look at Tyler Fay and you say, well, what makes him so elite and special? One is we've kind of talked about it a little bit. His strike throwing ability is, you know, he fills up the zone. He's only had he's only walked 12 guys on the season. He's almost at a 5-to-1 clip as well. And he's got a 30% strikeout rate. So you combine those two things, not a lot of negative things going on when he's on the bump, when he's facing these hitters. And when you look at Arkansas in that line, when they've been struggling, it's a good matchup for Fay tonight.
Kuhio Aloy, the right-handed batter, taking a strike, and the count evens up at 1-1. Aloy, the junior, out of Waikiki, Hawaii. I was going to go out on a limb and guess that he was not from Rogers, Arkansas.
You would be correct.
Kuhio is the first name, Aloy. And I make no apologies whatsoever that I am not about to try that without looking at the pronunciation guide, which all athletic communications offices put out so graciously for guys like you and me that they're got to call these names that you're not familiar with. Well, as you should be, perhaps.
His brother, you know, was the shortstop for the Razorbacks last year, Golden Spikes Award winner. So they've done pretty well from the state of Hawaii with their players.
Well, unfortunately for him, Fay just said aloha. The fly out to left field, and the side is retired. No score going to the bottom of the second. on a beautiful evening in Tuscaloosa, Alabama and Arkansas. Scoreless going to the home half of inning number 2. I'm Chris Stewart along with Alan Dunn. Glad you're with us here on our coverage of the Southeastern Conference. You see the Hogs 21-13 on the year with a tied at 26-8. Bama third place right now, one of several teams in a tie for third, and you've got Arkansas sitting there at 5-7. You can gain a lot of ground or lose a lot of ground in the course of a weekend, as the pitch to John Lim misses the mark, and he gets ahead 2 balls and no strikes. Brisbane, Australia native. Catcher behind the plate for the Tide. And the left-handed batter takes a strike to get it to 2-1. That one's lined foul and out of play left side. Lim, .312 average on the year. He's got 5 homers, 19 RBIs, 17 walks, 29 strikeouts. Some power, some pop, some whiffs. That is a traditional catcher, isn't it?
Absolutely. And, you know, he came in here from Southern Illinois, where he had 19 home runs, and obviously if you're Coach Vaughn and his staff, you're looking at bringing him into the program, and you can envision him being in this role that he's been in. It's taken him a little bit to find his power stroke, but he's starting to get the ball in the seats as he grounds out there. But this is a guy that has the potential that you got to circle that, hey, we can't let this guy, we just can't give him a cookie because he can do damage.
Heck of a play at first by Robinette. The way he kind of fanned at that one originally, I thought it might get by him, but he made a nice play to reel that one in, as there's 1 gone now, and Eric Hines will stand in for the Crimson Tide, the DH, who has been a nice addition. The freshman from right here in Tuscaloosa, 6'3", 230. Grown man body and just a youngster still.
Oh, listen, the accolades that he had coming in as a dual sport athlete. You look at that body, and for me, Chris, you look at that and you can have envisions of Albert Bell.
Well, he sure swung it like Mr. Bell right there as he hits it off the top of the scoreboard. Actually, excuse me, I didn't give him enough credit. He hit it over the scoreboard in left field. Been doing this a long time in this ballpark. Have seen most of the games with that scoreboard in place. I haven't seen many sail completely over it, partner.
Listen, that is just, I don't know what the exit velocity was, but I know it's over 100 for sure. Looked like a slider that just stayed middle, and he did not miss it. Look at that bad speed extension. That old saying, you can't sneak the cheese by the rat, and he just absolutely lamb-blasted that pitch.
Product of American Christian Academy, and Razorbacks are thinking some unholy things after that one went out of the yard, and almost a carbon copy, albeit to the opposite field, from Chase Kroberger, the left fielder, but that one stayed in the yard, and a nice grab in right by Stewart for out number 2.
Yeah, Chris, you look at that, and there was 110 off the bat of Hines, and listen, he got every bit of that ball, and that's why he's in the lineup. He has waited his time, he's developed, and now he does that. What a phenomenal swing. Get the Tide on the board.
And by the way, that breeze is blowing in. It's not a lot, but it's still a breeze into the wind. He was able to drill that one as Luke Vaughn, the sophomore first baseman, stands in for the Crimson Tide. He takes a breaking ball low to even things up at a ball and a strike. So a 1-0 lead for Alabama, thanks to the solo rocket off the bat of Eric Hines. 1-1 to Vaughn, clips the inside corner.
You know, I had a chance to ask Coach Vaughn about Eric Hines and say, where do you see him kind of fitting in as the rest of the season goes? He says right in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, and he's kind of, you know, 25 at bats on this. Got 3 homers already, and those in a limited number of at bats. But they knew that coming in. Highly touted with the power potential, but it takes freshmen a little bit longer sometimes. And listen, he's going to have some struggles. This league is too hard, but that's a way to announce your authority coming into a game like this.
Gobbled up at first by Robinette, and he's able to beat Vaughn to first base. But Hines with a no-doubter, giving Alabama the 1-0 advantage as we go to the third. One 0 Bama. 1 run, only 1 hit in the ball game. An absolute rocket off the bat of Eric Hines, giving the Crimson Tide the lead. The Razorbacks, boy, they have been the epitome of success and consistency. Allen with 40 wins in each of the last 8 seasons. What they've done in the SEC and the 4 trips to Omaha during that span, as this one's hit down the left field line and juggling it in foul territory. Justin LeBron making the play for out number 1.
And LeBron just wanted to add a little bit extra on this catch as he almost overran it, if you look here. But look how far he went, and then tops the glove, then, oh, no problem, I can just make this catch.
Sunlight to shadows as well, factoring in that. But back to Arkansas and what they've done. Look, it's one thing to be good, and it's tough enough to be good for a year, but to do it year after year the way Dave Van Horn has done is amazing.
It is truly amazing. And you know, Chris, just a little bit of the history of playing against Arkansas, so many of the years that coaching at LSU and them being in our division. And you always circled that. You circled that year, either at our place or their place, because you knew that they were going to be one of the teams you had to go through. I mean, it's just, and like you said, that consistency. You know, you can have a good team on a certain year,
right,
but you got to have a good program. And he has built a program as one of the elite in the country. And you know, they're scary. If you're looking at them right now, you know it's going to break out. It's just a matter of when.
There's no doubt. And the breakout being reference to the national title, which has been ever elusive for them. Just like this pitch from Tyler Fay. Beautiful. I guess that's the slider, right, Coach?
That's that slider that it has just really elevated his game. He's been able to throw it ahead in counts, behind in counts. And that's how he's got a lot of his strikeouts. That with the elevation of the heater to the top of the zone, he works that slider down and away. And again, it starts with strike 1, and he is really having a lot of first pitch strikes in this ball game and getting ahead and then making his put away pitches.
Carter Rutenbar standing in as the Hogs have come back to the top of the order. Grounded out his first plate appearance. Down in the count here, 0-2. Off speed misses down and away as the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. 1-0 Bama here in the top of the 3rd. Just a little bit high.
96. There's the other thing. You've seen an uptick in Tyler Fay's the velocity, but it's not just throwing velocity, it's pitching velocity that he's been able to command it as he ran that ball in on him. He's trying to double up there, kind of yanked that one, but the stuff has stayed, it's crisp in his outings, and it stayed strong throughout his outings. That tells you a lot about a pitcher when you maintain your stuff for the course of a 9-inning game.
Not a lot of wasted motion either for the right-hander. That one's ripped foul.
You know, on the Arkansas side, you know, talking about this freshman Rutenbar, he is a freshman hitting leadoff at Arkansas, and I spoke with Dave Van Horn about him, and he loves this player. He thinks his ceiling is very high. He's got good bat to ball skills. As you see him working this at bat right now, he's disciplined. And I mean, this is a guy, you know, leading off as a freshman in one of the premier programs in the league. So a lot of accolades for him right now, and he's hitting .355.
34th pitch of the night from Tyler Fay results in the first hit of the game for the Razorbacks, as Rutenbar with a great at bat, down 0-2, works it full, fights off 2 pitches, and then strokes the first single of the night into right field.
Yeah, it looked like it was a fastball running away from it. Really a nice flat swing. Didn't try to do too much, and I think that's a good. That if you're over at the Arkansas side, you look at him and go, "This is a kid that has a really good idea what he wants to do when he gets in the box."
Shift on as Kojal stands in and wanted to take a pitch, but he went around on it. Strike 1.
This is the guy that they really feel like they got to get going. I mean, he's hitting .305, 8 homers, 37 ribbies. You go, wow, what do you mean? But he is a guy that they just feel like that he is the guy that they really got to hitch their wagon to as he flies out there to Fowler.
Tyler Fay not fazed by the first hit of the game for the Hogs, still holding a 1-0 lead going to the home half of inning number 3. Let's go back a couple of years. Last time here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, in a great ball game, was able to knock off top-ranked Arkansas, and then got the series from the Hogs as well. Number 25 beating number 1 2 out of 3. You see this is the 105th meeting in the history between the 2 programs. Bama's won the last 2 in this series here in T-Town. In 3 of the last 4 games have been decided by 2 runs or less. And I know we got a long way to go to the finish line, Coach, but looks like we're trending that direction at the moment anyway.
Hey, just chalk it up to the SEC. I mean, you have to win those 1- and 2-run games because you're going to be in them every weekend. And the teams that can weather that storm and get that big hit at the right time late in the ball game are the teams that are going to propel themselves to victory. But it is a grind, and you're going to be in it. These coaches know that. They've been in this league long enough to know that that's what it takes to be able to go to the top in this league.
So Brennan Holt standing in ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike for the Crimson Tide here in the third. Talk to me, though, about the strain it puts on players to know that every pitch matters the way it does. And as a coach, how do you get them to play loose and relaxed despite the fact every pitch truly does matter?
You know, I don't think there's any I don't think you have to even tell them the importance of every pitch. You know,
they know
that,
right?
Okay, but there's also that thing as when you're trying to coach them up or get them prepared, you have to bring out at certain times, hey, this is what it's going to take to win this league, and you have to be able to play loose, but you have to be able to play with mental focus, execution, and it's going to take all 27 players, or ever how many you have on your roster. It's going to take every one of those dudes, you know, pulling on the same rope, so to speak.
Top of the order back in as Fowler lines that one foul to even the count up at a ball and a strike. He drew a walk his first time up and advanced to second on a wild pitch before he was left stranded in that first frame.
And I think that's one of the things, listening to Coach Vaughn talk and his plan for this team as we see Fowler's numbers there, that he has just been playing on fire, 4th in the SEC. His batting average, he kind of ran in on him there.
Well, that may be trouble, though. Heck of a play in left by Rutenbar, as he got kind of a late jump on it. Again, the shadows starting to, well, I say starting to, almost covering the entire playing surface here, but you can see where there are those gaps, especially in left field. It is very difficult to pick up the baseball, and he went sunlight to shadows again, and a heck of a running grab with the degree of difficulty added because of his shortstop heading out as well.
Absolutely. Nice play, and I'm sure they had good communication. Even though it didn't look like it, I think they were probably communicating well. But just getting back to Coach Vaughn and what he's trying to talk to his team about. Listen, we know they've been playing well. They're 8-4 going into this weekend. They've been playing very good baseball, but he is really, and I know it's the old cliche of coaching, is, listen, you're not worried about winning a series tonight. You're not winning. You're talking about winning a game, just like Arkansas, trying to win a game. Winning games in this league is so hard, but you really got to take them one at a time, and I think that's the thing that they've done such a great job of at this point.
Struggles continue for LeBron as he is retired for the second time tonight, but again, through 3 innings, it's still a 1-0 Alabama lead. Done back with you at Sewell Thomas Stadium in Tuscaloosa as we go to the top half of the 4th inning. Alabama, a 1-0 lead over Arkansas, trying to stay within reach of league-leading Georgia. Texas there at second with a 9-3 mark, and then the log jam begins with 7 and 6 and 5-win teams that are still trying to stay in the mix.
And you look up at that, and after this weekend, it's going to be just as jumbled as it was tonight.
That's true.
And that's why it's important. Listen, we can talk it to death, but winning a game, and especially, you know, you talk about going on the road, you're trying to get a win. I mean, you're trying to win them all, but you really feel like you got to win one on the road, and then hopefully win your game. You know, your series is at home, and that's going to put you right there in the mix of where you need to be. But you know, that's easier said than done.
If you're going around the country with whip around coverage, this is an at bat you would want to check out as Fay battles Helfrich, and the count evens up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tyler Fay, certainly as of late, one of the best in the SEC, and Helfrich, one of the best in the nation as well, as that one misses way outside.
And Tyler Fay, you look at his numbers right now in the first 3 innings, he's 10 out of 12 first pitch strikes. He's retired all 3 leadoff hitters out. And when you're doing things like that, you're giving yourself the best chance. Nice play right there by Holt. And keep the ball on the ground, get ahead, make your pitches, and keep your pitch count down. And he's done a tremendous job in these first 3 innings of doing that.
So a very talented leadoff man retired here in the top half of inning number 4. That'll bring up Nolan Sousa. Digging in, the .263 hitter with a couple of homers and 16 RBIs. Slaps that one foul and out of play left side. Shadows almost completely overtaking playing surface. You see a little bit of sunlight still creeping in and left, giving Alabama's left fielder Kroberger some challenges, as now the shift will come on with 2 strikes. Torres will come over basically and play second, and Holt is in essence at shallow right. Rolled off the instep, and the count moves to 0-2.
And you look at Fay, that one, he's getting ahead, and then he's making such good put-away pitches in locations that he's really attacking the hitters and really putting them in they're just not seeing very good hittable pitches. And when you do that as a hitter, you get a little anxious, you get a little impatient, and Fay's done a good job of being on the offensive.
Speaking of offensive, when you are a hitter and you see a shift like that, is there ever the thought, especially for the higher end batters, to maybe go defensive and say, I know it's with 2 strikes, you don't bunt, but I'm going to try to get one down on the ground? That at bat, that swing looked like he was trying to do it right there.
And listen, we've talked about it, the struggles that they've had offensively.
Yeah.
Hey, sometimes all it takes is a little bloop, a little,
right.
A little misplay or something like that. And hey, you lay one down potentially, and you bring up your next dude. He hits somehow he hits a 2-run homer. It kind of gets you going. So I would say it's not out of the realm of thinking. But you know, with a situation like this, I'm thinking Arkansas is pulling out all stops to kind of get something going. You know, Coach Van Horn talked about, he said, we just got to get some guys that we counted on coming into this season, guys that have produced their whole career. And they're just, as we take a look at this again, oh, that's...
Wish we hadn't.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as a former catcher, that'll make your eyes water in the middle of the night just having flashbacks.
That'll make you want to take the gear off if you're John Lim.
Yeah.
But Coach Van Horn just talked about the need for some of their guys to get rolling, and it's just, listen, when you're struggling offensively, it makes your whole team look like you're lethargic. It's just, that's the nature of this business.
Nice place by Torres, and again, that's a little uncommon play for him, throwing back across his body in that manner, as he is accustomed to being down at third, but fielded the little chopper nicely and made the throw in time as Zach Stewart, the right fielder, will now dig in with 2 outs and nobody aboard. Chased one up. It was only at 84, but up where he could not lay off of it, despite the fact it was out of the zone. .270 average now for Stewart. 6 homers, 3 doubles. Driven in 15 on the year.
And this is another one of those guys. You look up. This is a guy that started his career at Missouri State, and he's got 50 career homers coming into this career homers. So this is a guy that 719 at bats in his college career. You bring him in as a transfer guy and hitting in the middle of your lineup, and you're thinking, hey, this is a guy that's gonna, propel our our offense, and just really hasn't gotten his game going to the level of what I'm sure he's accustomed to. So it's just, again, when it's almost contagious, as we talk about. Hitting and not hitting can be contagious.
They worked with 2 outs, nobody aboard. 2-2. Swing and a foul tip in and out of the glove of Lim. So Stewart will survive for another pitch. Solo home run from Tide's designated hitter. Producing the game's only run, Eric Hines, crushing one over the scoreboard in left. Back in the 2nd inning. Payoff, lifted foul and out of play, and the only other at bat that has gone this long for the Hogs has been the one by Rutenbar that resulted ultimately in a base hit. And if nothing else, Stewart is making Fay work and getting that pitch count closer to 60. Payoff again, and that one misses outside. A great at bat from Stewart. Something seldom said when I was at the plate. Here comes Robinette, the first baseman.
You cut yourself short, Mr. Stewart.
Sell yourself short, Judge. You're a tremendous slouch. Robinette flew out to center his first time up. Takes ball 1 up and in. It's one of the few lines from that movie I can actually quote and still come back work with you on Sunday.
Oh. Here's another one of those guys in this Arkansas lineup, a veteran guy that they're looking for him to kind of get going. And listen, you can talk about it. It's a lot of times the dude on the bump has a lot of effect on how you're hitting. So in this league, it's not uncommon to go, series at a time and not really hit, because you're facing big leaguers a lot every time you get in that box. So it's just, it takes it's going to take them something to get kind of get hitting on all cylinders, and Coach Van Horn talked about that. Some of the veteran players are probably pressing a little bit harder than normal, trying to get 3 hits in 1 at bat, and when that does, that just kind of that puts that pressure on you, and you're not playing as loose as you normally do.
Just a little bit high to even things up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fay was at 50 pitches when Stewart came to the plate. Now this is his 65th, but it results in strike number 3, his second of the night. And through 3.5 here in Tuscaloosa, Tyler Fay and the Tide working with a 1-0 lead. Our score as we go to the home half of the 4th inning here in Tuscaloosa. I'm Chris Stewart along with Alan Dunn, and we welcome in the head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks, Dave Van Horn. Coach, thanks for your time. First and foremost, forgive me for asking you to take a 30,000-foot view when you're locked in the middle of a game, but talk to our audience about how you've been able to maintain consistency from a program standpoint the way you have. I know that may lead to some frustration with what's happening now, but at the same time, you have truly been one of the elite programs in the nation, not easy to maintain.
Well, I would have to say that first thing, we treat everybody the same, whether they're the best player on the team or really the number 40th player on the team, and they know that. And I think our kids really appreciate that. We're really honest with our kids. We'll tell them why they're not playing and not just make something up to get them out of the office or whatever. And I think it pays off a little bit. But, you know, we've had good players. We got really good coaches. We have a great fan base, beautiful stadium, and a lot of support. So it all adds up to being consistent for the most part.
Coach, one thing quickly about tonight's ball game. You look at it's a Friday night guy. We knew 2 guys coming in here in Dietz and Fay was going to be one of those. How do you feel about Dietz right now? What are you seeing good? How do you feel about what he's doing in this Friday night role thus far?
Well, right now, what he's doing is he's behind a little bit, but he's making some really good pitches behind the count. He made the ball that went over the scoreboard was a cutter that ended up cutting right into the barrel, and he crushed it. And you got to just shake it off. But what's not really going on right now is his curveball. So he's just going with the cutter, the changeup, and the fastball. If he could get that curveball going, it would really help. And he's done that before. We hadn't had it right at first, but then it's kind of come on, and we'll see if we can get it.
Coach, you're gracious with your time, and we greatly appreciate your insight. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach.
See you guys. Thanks.
Take care. Dave Van Horn, truly one of the elite coaches in all of college baseball. I think it's often overlooked. Yes, he's had phenomenal success at Arkansas. We talked about the 4 World Series in the last few years. He took Nebraska to Omaha, which I know geographically is a short distance, but historically something that they haven't been able to pull off there with that program. And just to get them there for the college baseball showcase within their home state, an unbelievable accomplishment.
And you look there where he is on the highest winning percentages among active Division I active coaches. And I think just in that little bit of an interview that he spoke about what helps their program and why they've been successful. And listen, being in that other dugout for years and watching them, how they prepare, expectations, how he deals with his players. Listen, he tells the players like it is. Players want to know that. Hey, listen, just tell me the truth.
Yeah.
And I think he does that. And it's just been a, well, we could go on and on, but he's a tremendous program, tremendous coach.
Players want that. But if the players don't want that, more than likely you don't want them.
Exactly. And that's how you figure out who are you going to go to battle with. Who are going to be the guys standing after a 56-game schedule in that fight, game in and game out. And that's what you're looking for. Who's going to be all in? And I think he does a great job of figuring that out.
Well, we've talked about the shutout that Tyler Fay's got going on. I tell you what, the lefty Hunter Dietz has been equally impressive, minus the one mistake pitch to the guy in the on-deck circle in Eric Hines. That solo rocket over the left field walls, the only difference in this ball game. It's the only hit for Alabama. The Razorbacks have just one themselves. 0-2 to John Lim, the catcher.
And you see that fastball that he tried to go off the plate at 97, and he did that prior through that breaking ball. And there's that, looks like that was more of a cutter, as Coach Van Horn talked about. He's had a little trouble, he says, getting his breaking ball over. But if you look right here, it looks like that's a combination slider cutter. At 86, but that's that glove side pitch that when you can command those two pitches and then have the ability to run that heater in on a right-handed hitter, that's a pretty tough at bat for a lefty.
Two very close pitches that were called balls, and now the payoff misses inside, and Lim battles back from down 1-2 to recording the base on balls. Only the second base runner for the Crimson Tide. Actually, I take that back. I think it's the third now for Alabama, and the guy that's the only one fortunate enough to round the bases and touch home, Eric Hines, digs in. Will be interesting to see if he sees a fastball anywhere near the plate this time. That, I believe, was the slider, and it's 0-1.
You saw that pitch. That pitch just disappeared. That's what they call the old back foot. Cutter, slider, sweeper, whatever you want to call it. Names are different these days, but all I know is that was an unhittable pitch.
Ground ball through the whole left side, base hit. Well, there's only one guy in the ballpark that's figured out the left-hander, Hunter Dietz, and that's the man at first base. Hines once again, solid single through the whole left side.
Looks like a fastball that just he has the strength to pull that ball through the 5-6 hole. And he is really seeing that fastball very well right now.
It was located pretty well, but are you surprised he threw it at all?
After having thrown that back foot slider, you think he's probably going to see
set
another
him up
one,
for
set
it.
him one, or maybe come back with another slider. But hey, give Hines credit. He didn't try to do too much. Probably not going to hit that ball in the seats, and he just found the hole. And with 2 outs, you're just trying to prolong the inning here.
And standing in for the Tide, the left fielder Chase Kroberger. Is that one of the toughest things to get a young hitter like Hines to do when he has hit a rocket or a missile or whatever description you want to go with for the home run that he had, to be patient enough to simply take a single the next time up?
Absolutely, because this hitting is about putting good swings on pitches that you can do something with, and learning the strike zone, being disciplined in the strike zone. Now that's easier said than done, and having only 20 at bats, that's even more impressive.
Ground ball by Kojal to Robinette ends the Alabama threat. Still 1-0 going to the 5th. Beautiful night in Tuscaloosa, and for Bama fans, the scoreboard looks pretty good as well. Midway through this one here at the Joe, a 1-0 Alabama lead. Chris Stewart along with Alan Dunn, and joined by the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Rob Vaughn. 100 wins in your Alabama career. I'm going to guess you had no clue about that until they handed you the baseball and congratulated you post-game.
Yeah, man, I had no idea. I was going out there. I thought it was a little weird. My wife told me my little man had a T-ball game, and she was like, "Hey, we're going to leave early and get there." And I was like, "That's weird," but I didn't think anything of it. And then, you know, we win. They got a video playing, and I walk out there. I'm trying to get the huddle started so I can get these guys out of here. It's a Tuesday night, you know, and they're like, "Hey, can you shut up and watch this? This is for you." And I was like, "Oh, okay, thanks." So, yeah, really cool accomplishment, man. But, man, we got a big one going tonight, so you move on from these real quick here and try to get ready for this one.
Hey, Coach, SEC game, Friday night game, 2 hits, 1 hit, both teams. Tell me how you feel like Tyler Fay has really working through these first 4 innings of work.
Yeah, he's done a good job of mixing pitches. He's been in the bottom of the zone. I mean, it's a dangerous lineup. This dude right here can tie this thing up in one swing real quick. So, you know, he's done a good job of mixing. He's done a good job of getting ahead. They've done a good job of spoiling some pitches. You know, normally can get guys to bite on that heater up, but these guys do a good job of getting to that pitch. So I've had to adjust off that a little bit, but it's been at the bottom of the zone, throwing a lot of strikes. It's been in a lot of good counts. So just got to keep matching. Man, there's been one mistake in this game so far, and that was the hung breaking ball to Hines earlier. So both pitchers are rolling, and it's one of those nights here in Tuscaloosa.
Real quick before we let you run, you dropped 4 straight, and this guy comes back and throws the first 9-inning no-hitter since the 40s. One game doesn't guarantee anything, but did you sense something shift immediately after that in your team when they came to work the next day?
I'll be honest with you, I felt something shift on that Wednesday after we got beat, you know, at South Al. Like, belief's a powerful thing, man. I mean, you look at the players in this league, there is talent everywhere. Look at this roster across from us. I mean, my goodness, you look at up and down that roster, it's really good things. It's just belief's powerful, man, and I think these guys believe in each other. They believe in Tyler Fay out here on a Friday night, and, man, belief matters. And so they're playing with a lot of confidence right now. They're playing together right now, and biggest thing is I think we found our identity, and identity is a huge thing. These boys know who they are. It doesn't guarantee anything, but they ain't trying to be anything other than they're not, man. They're just out here competing, balling together, and it's been a lot of fun.
We'll let you go, Coach, again. Appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
You guys. Roll Tide.
Rob Vaughn, head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide in his 3rd season. As that one's fouled off. Kansas State product who had things rolling at Maryland. Said, frankly, wasn't sure he was interested in Alabama when Greg Byrne made the phone call to him about the potential of coming here to be the head coach. But the more he talked to people and then seeing the place and experiencing it, realized that it was the right fit, and boy, has it ever been for both he and the program.
Absolutely. I know that just my time visiting with him, and he loves it here, and I think his family, and he loves his players and his team, and you see it, you hear it. He has passion, and he holds the players accountable. And then when you do that, then the players are going to hold each other accountable. And when you do that, you got a good thing rolling, and i.e. you look up and you're knocking on that door, the upper part of the SEC.
With one gone, a 1-2 pitch, and that's a great piece of hitting by Christian Turner. The center fielder for the Razorbacks got a pitch up and over the plate where he could go oppo with the shift on. And we were talking about this an inning ago, Coach, and he's able to take advantage of one of the few mistake pitches on the night. And again, it's only a mistake because of the shift. Ordinarily, that's a ground ball out to third.
Absolutely, and you give Turner, you hit him. What a great job of hitting. Flat swing. You know, you try to pull that ball, that's a 4-3. He stayed on it, and that's what Coach Van Horn talked about. This is his first start in the SEC, and you know that he wanted to get somebody going, and that's a good start. You get a guy on with 1 out, and that's just a great job of hitting.
TJ Pompey, the 3rd baseman, swings and misses, and he's quickly down to the count 0-2. He struck out his first at bat. 234 hitter. Oh, 2. Breaking ball just missed.
And Pompey's another one of those guys that they got out of the transfer portal, played at Texas Tech. Career games played 104, 21 homers, 79 RBIs, also can steal bases 24 out of 27. And a guy that they brought in here and really trying to get him, you know, hitting on all cylinders, so to speak. And I mean, he's hitting 237 with 6 homers. His freshman year at Tech, he had 10 homers and 49 ribbies as a freshman.
Wow.
So just the potential is all right there. It's just a matter of execution and doing it.
You talk about the SEC being the best of the best, but the Big 12's not bad either as a baseball conference, obviously, and making that step over to the SEC. The runner bluffs going again, and that one's tapped foul.
You know, there's a lot of good baseball teams in the country these days with all of the stuff that's going on and the parity that's happening with guys moving. And it really has, you know, kind of evened the playing field at a lot of different places.
I think there's another piece as the 2-2 is hit to straightaway center field, and Fowler able to find it and make the grab for out number 2. NIL in college baseball means that a kid that maybe needs to make some money for his family doesn't have to go as a draft pick in the 25th, 30th, 35th round, whatever the case may be, down the line, where there's not great money and the quality of life is nowhere near what it is, especially at high-level Division I baseball.
Absolutely, and it's just giving those kids the opportunity to do what you said. You're getting a chance to financially, you know, have some security. You know, there's some things that come with this that, you know, also has its, I think, drawbacks with when you're trying to, you know, when you're trying to create a team and when you're trying to build a team from the ground up.
Yep. Hogs trying to build a rally as they'll send the runner around third. The throw is going to come to the plate, and a good decision on the part of Turner to slam on the brakes. Looked like he was considering gambling there, but a great job of getting that throw in on the part of Neal.
Looked like it was a changeup that great job of hitting, just laced it down the line. I think he was going, and he obviously, the third base coach held him up there.
So the first real threat from Arkansas and the first real trouble for Tyler Fay. Through 82 pitches, he's now with 2 out, got men on the corners. And a shot down and in the gap. That's going to be extra bases, and it could score 2. Rutenbar rounding third. He's going to head for home. Here comes the relay, and it is in time. What a throw from Justin LeBron. The tag by Lim, and Rutenbar is out at the plate, but the Razorbacks get the RBI single from Kojal, tying the score at 1, but it remains a tie because of the bang-bang play at home.
Arkansas to challenge of out at home plate.
Well, the Razorbacks have 2 challenges because the first one that they made went in their favor, so they got that challenge back. But that didn't seem like, at first glance, there was much doubt.
I am definitely with you on that, but my eyes aren't what they used to be from up here in the booth. But let's see. Good job of giving him. I think he's out. I think he got him in the face, and I don't think his hand's there yet.
I was going to say, has he touched home yet?
No, I don't think so.
Did he whiff on the tag? That's the only question. The answer is no, apparently.
And the other thing that could possibly be, I don't know if they're even questioning with Lim with his foot at the plate.
I thought we were going to get the official word from Kevin Sweeney, the crew chief.
After replay, the call on the field is out. No obstruction. Arkansas still has one challenge remaining.
And you are correct. They were reviewing as to whether or not there was obstruction on the play. There was not. So halfway through, we got a 1-1 game. Alabama to Arkansas. Well, the pitching matchup has been as good as advertised. Hunter Dietz through 4.5 innings, 68 pitches, north of 40 in the strike zone. He's held the Tide to a run on 2 hits. Tyler Fay gave up 3 hits in the last half inning, producing the first run of the game for the Razorbacks. But as you saw from those clips, he has been razor sharp the majority of the night as well.
And give Arkansas credit that inning. They got some pitches. They were able to do some damage with those. But look, you get out of the inning only giving up 1 run, and that's because your defense. LeBron makes a phenomenal throw to nail the runner at the plate. But that's what happens when you're around the zone and you're keeping your fielders on their toes, and you know every pitch matters. You get plays like that, and that was a great job of getting out of it. Only 1 run, and now here we are in the bottom of the 5th, and you'd love to see the Tide go here and kind of get a little room for him to breathe on.
Here is Luke Vaughn, the first baseman, who's 0 for 1 on the night. You see the average not great, but he's got some pop in the bat with 6 homers and 24 RBIs. Are those the guys at the bottom of the order that can really scare you, even though obviously he's a strikeout victim here? But, you know, hitters know the average, and that may tend to be in their mind more than the home runs that hitter has. And so I'm not going to say you let up, but maybe there is a mental lapse.
Listen, you're absolutely correct, and that's one thing that the Tide offense has been able to do. They've got production up and down the lineup.
Right.
And, I mean, you're looking at Vaughn got 6 homers hit there in the 8th hole. But if you're over there in Arkansas and you're doing your scouting report, I guarantee you, Coach Matt Hobbs, the pitching coach, said, hey, listen, you can't lay cookies in there to Vaughn because he can get out of here in a heartbeat. So, you know, there's so much information out there, and knowing who and how to pitch certain guys. And so he did a nice job there getting the leadoff hitter with a punch out, and keeps rolling along.
Brennan Holt, the left-handed hitting second baseman, standing in. Hitting in the 9th spot in the order. 282 average. With a Baton Rouge native. Takes a strike, and it's 2-2.
And he has just done such a great job of hitting in this 9th spot. You're almost like you got 2 leadoff guys, because he can run, steal your bag, he works the counts, he can turn the lineup over, and he's played an impeccable defense. Just a great, again, talking about experience. This is a guy that started at LSU, worked his way to South Alabama, then he comes here, and just a guy that you look up and you're like, man, we're thankful that we got a guy like this in our lineup.
He's able to earn a walk, and that puts the top of the order back around with 1 out. Bryce Fowler, who drew a walk in the 1st inning, flew out to left in the 2nd. Bama would love to have 2 on and 1 out for Justin LeBron. Despite his struggles, this is exactly the type of moment that LeBron loves, but Fowler does too. He takes ball 1 outside.
You know, I would say right now with Dietz, it's a little bit of control over command, meaning that he's been in the strike zone enough, but he's not really commanding his stuff. Like, he's not really doubling up and being able to throw that one quality pitch and then back it up with another quality pitch. But his stuff is so good that sometimes you can get away with that type of pitching. But that the other times it can catch up with you, and something out of norm for he has 3 walks tonight, which he only had 14 coming into the into this game. So this could be a big inning for Alabama if they get their pitch.
A ball and a strike to count, and there's a beautiful fastball in the inside corner. Boy, he got him to watch the breaking ball away, or on the outside corner, I should say, but then comes back with a 95-mile-per-hour fastball in the inside corner.
And if you're a hitter, man, that is so hard, because maybe that breaking ball he yanked out of the zone for a ball, and then he comes up and dots you. It's hard to kind of get in a rhythm as a hitter when a guy, but again, it's about stuff. I mean, he's 95 to 97 with a it's hard to pull the trigger, and you see right there's another example of 96 that he just yanks out of the zone. So last time Fowler was in, he threw that 3-2 slider that he punched him out on early in the ball game.
And he got him there. He drew a walk his first time up, but he got him on the breaking ball there. And there are now 2 outs. Big pitch right there for Dietz.
See, that's just a painted fastball on the outer third at 96. You just can't do anything with it. And then again, you mixed in the little bit of erraticness with it, and then boom, you get a punch out.
So let's see what LeBron can do with 2 gone. He's 0 for 2 on the night. A line out to right and a ground out to third base. Neither very sharply hit, as his season average is down to 263. Hitting 273 with 2 outs in the inning. Had a home run cut there, but came up empty, and it's 0-1. He didn't get cheated on that cut.
No, he didn't. And that was that slider that has that little disappearing action at 86 with good downhill depth that kind of didn't quite get to the back foot, but it was in a really good spot. And now he doubles up on it again. That's the 2 pitch. And if I'm guessing, you're probably going to see one a little further down in the dirt, or you might see that high elevated fastball to the top of the zone. He can really go either place right now.
He went up, chopped it foul. When you talk about the best players in terms of draft prospects in the SEC, it starts with Justin LeBron. Obviously, it travels through Baton Rouge and College Station, Gainesville and Fayetteville as well, but LeBron right there with a chance to be one of the highest draft picks since your old teammate Dave Magadan.
Yeah, I mean, you just the tools are just oozing out of him. When you're a scout, we see these scouts sitting down here every night he plays, and it's all about tools. What are the tools that you're going to bring to the field? And he has every one on. We saw that throw he made. That's arm strength. He's got power. He's got speed. Got 25 bags. Elite glove work.
We talk about breaks, though, for hitters to help them kind of get out of a slump. He may have caught one right there, because that was borderline. Could have been where the first base ump said he offered at it. Let's see if he takes advantage here. Fights to keep the at-bat alive.
And, a lot of times, Chris, when you feel like you're struggling, and it always seems like that pitcher that when you come up, he makes those great pitches every time, and that gets in your head. And
sure.
This game is such a, how you deal with adversity it's the it's the separator.
Split the heart of the plate with that one at 97. So Dietz still going strong, and we still got a great one here in Tuscaloosa.
About when a rolling tide clashed with baseball royalty.
Both games were just two heavyweights going at it.
An SEC storied film, Summer of '83, Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Well, as the announcer said, let me tell you a story. And Alan Dunn, you could tell that story as well as anybody. You were there in that national championship game between Texas and Alabama, part of that great Crimson Tide team. Dr. Barry Schallenberger, the head coach, and took Alabama to the World Series, to the title game, the first time it happened in school history. And good grief, the talent that was involved in that matchup.
I look at it and I think, how long ago that was, but it's still vivid in my memory as I think about just that whole run that we had, the players that we had. Obviously, Dave Magadan was
525, by the way, for the season, not in a series, not for a weekend. The season hit 525.
And when we got in that World Series, his first 8 times up, he had 8 hits in Omaha, 8 for 8, and just a great run. And I'm so glad that they're doing this to throw back the series. And we also faced a pretty good guy in that championship guy by the name of Roger Clemens.
Yeah,
he had a pretty good career.
Not bad. And the thing is, Calvin Schiraldi, who people don't remember as well as Clemens, obviously, but was a fantastic pitcher during his time as well, as Souza hits the ground ball to short. Justin LeBron able to make the play, and very rapidly there are 2 outs. Tyler Fay coming off his longest inning so far on the night in the 5th. Now in the 6th is able to get the first 2 men on a total of 5 pitches.
Much needed. And if you look at, and that's obviously having a little talk with the hitter right now, obviously want to slow Tyler Fay down, give him having the hitter not go up and maybe swing at the first pitch. But anyway, when you look at Tyler Fay, his MO this season has been, if you don't get him early, it's going to be hard.
Right.
Even at Kentucky, he didn't have that was one of his worst outings of the year. He gave up 5. And I want to say it was early in the game, maybe 2nd, 3rd inning, but you look up, he went through 7.
Yeah.
That was critical of giving your team a chance to win maybe on the weekend. Unfortunately, they didn't win, but he didn't make that bullpen go to work.
Right.
And he's been doing this all season. He stayed strong. Even the night he had the no-hitter in the 9th inning, he was up 93-94 with his stuff. So that gives you a little credit, or gives him credit to the workload that he's put in to be able to maintain it.
Next pitch will be his 89 to Zach Stewart, who fouls it off. Stewart, a fly out to left and a walk in 2 plate appearances.
And he first pitch swinging. First pitch
That's right.
swinging after we talked about 5 pitches, and he gets that first pitch heater. And but there's also, you might think about that philosophy of, hey, 5 pitches, let's make him throw one. But then the other part is maybe knowing he's coming out, maybe let him unleash one and maybe get you up on the board with a 2-1 lead. So different thinking philosophies.
Just missed with a fastball up and in there. As the count goes to 1-2, again the shift on. The last time Bama had this shift on, I believe it was Pompey that went the opposite way, as that one just missed, and the count evens at 2-2.
That's a great pitch. I mean, he ran that ball in hard on his belt, and now he's 2-2. You will make it happen right now. This count, you got 2 outs, 2-2 count. You don't want to go 3-2, which Stewart, you know, he did go 3-2 on his last at bat. Stewart fouled some pitches off. You'd love to see the action happen right now.
Boy, just missed there, and really good eye on the part of Stewart to stay off that one. So it's another full count. We saw him do this earlier when he drew the walk in the 4th. Battled back from behind in the count, drew a base on balls. Can he do it again? He does. That one may have clipped him. It did. So it won't go as the 3rd walk of the night. Instead, it'll be the first hit batsman. Regardless, it's a man aboard for Arkansas with 2 gone.
Yeah, it looks like a slider that he just yanked, trying to probably get that to the other back foot. He got it to the front foot. I'm sure he'd love to have that one back with 2 outs especially.
What's conversation in the Bama dugout right now as they've got activity in the bullpen? They got a lefty and a righty throwing at the moment. Again, this is a pitch count that's up there a little bit as you see the right-hander throwing. That's Sam Mitchell, and then the lefty, Matthew Heiberger.
I think if you're Rob Vaughn and Jason Jackson, you want to do everything you can for Tyler Fay to get out of this inning.
Swung on with the runner moving. That one's fouled off.
I mean, when you look up, this is the guy that's been in this. This is the guy that you've been hitching your wagon to. This is the guy that you have the most trust in.
Yeah.
And you're going to give him every opportunity to make that pitch and get you in the dugout. Then you look at, okay, what are we going to do, you know, in the 7th?
Yeah, he's at 96 right now in terms of number of pitches thrown. The 97th is a strike, and it's 0-2.
You know, Coach Vaughn talked about the Arkansas hitters that have done a good job of laying off the high fastballs, but
that one is hit a mile high, but it's going to stay in the yard. Tough one to find, though, for Neal. The right fielder is able to camp out and make the play for out number 3. So the Razorbacks threaten to leave a man aboard. We head to the bottom of the 6th, still 1-1 here at the Joe. Sweet home Alabama indeed for the Crimson Tide. Sewell Thomas Stadium, the beautiful official home of Alabama baseball, and the setting tonight of one of the great games going on around the Southeastern Conference. I'm Chris Stewart along with Alan Dunn. What a ball game we have here as Hunter Dietz throws his 90th pitch of the night. Little high to Brady Neal, the right fielder, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. 6 total hits in the game. A solo home run for Barrett Kynes, the only one producing a run for Alabama, unless Neal has matched it, and he has. And it's a 2-1 Alabama advantage. Thanks to Brady Neal's home run, giving the Tide the 2-1 lead.
Just that fastball. It looks like a fastball up middle. Look at him staying on that. He's got the strength to stay on it, drive it oppo. What a great job by Brady Neal. He's been doing that all season. He gives the Tide a 2-1 lead. Oppo.
Wasn't a no-doubter like the one by Hines, but it was impressive nonetheless, and that's his 7th long ball of the season. Here's Jason Torres, who has the home run power as well. He slugged 4 on the season with 7 doubles. Tonight, like most of his teammates, 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts.
If it goes 366 or 466, it counts as 1, right?
It does.
Hey,
Depending on where you hit it. Depending on where you hit it.
Hey, in that particular ball, that might have been
right.
376, okay?
You're right.
But just, hey, you get a run on the board.
No doubt. 2-1 Bama, even though they've been out hit 4-3, 2 of them have been solo homers. And look, I know we're a long way from this one being done, but isn't this the way it goes when you're struggling? I mean, you're Arkansas, you've had some good at-bats. You've out-hit the opposition, albeit only the 4 hits. Guys been throwing great stuff on the hill, but you look up and you're down 2-1. That's got to make for a tough dugout for Dave Van Horn.
And listen, and you feel it. I mean, it's no secret. Everybody in that dugout feels it. You know what's going on. You know the things that are said.
And then a play like that, which should be a routine out, is misplayed by Souza. When the E4 puts a man aboard with nobody out.
Arkansas is one of the best defensive teams in the SEC, and just a little play that kind of took a step back, and then he had to come in, and it just got in on him. And you're right, things that kind of compound. You know, when you're going good, that's not even a play that matters, but now it's just magnified, and now you're going to put an extra pitch on the pitcher, and you're going to probably get your bullpen going, which he is going, and just a lot of things that happen to the course of a game when maybe you're not hitting on all cylinders.
A couple of righties starting to get loose in the Razorback bullpen as John Lim stands in 0 for 1 with a walk. Grounded out in the 2nd before he drew a base on balls in the 4th inning. Again, not to be forgotten, Arkansas did score a run in the 5th, but they had a man that was thrown out at the plate on the same play in which they scored the tying run. But the 3rd out occurred at the plate. Great relay throw from Justin LeBron, who, again, it's why he is as highly regarded as he is. The offensive struggles recently may be there, but it hasn't affected what he does defensively. And it was Lim who made the catch and applied the tag, even though he too struggles with a strikeout right there.
And listen, Dietz has not lost anything on his, that's 96. He has not lost anything. I mean, big physical guy, 6'6", 235. He's still pumping at a high velocity. And I know if you're Van Horn, Coach Van Horn, you would love to see him be able to figure out how to get out of this inning and leaving it at a 2-1 game.
But this is the one guy that's consistently figured him out, and Hines misses right there. But he's 2 for 2 on the night. The home run we referenced in the second, the single in the fourth. That was his 101st pitch of the night for Dietz.
And with that swing right there, as we were talking about hitting it 376 or 570, he was looking to hit that one 576.
Yeah.
He unbuttoned his shirt on that first pitch swing. He wanted to have a no-doubter.
Boy, that one is slapped foul. Good contact, but late on it. Here's the home run back in the second inning. Better look quick. Look, it got out in a hurry.
Explosive bat speed. You know, they talked about him in the fall. He hit more balls over 100 miles an hour than anybody on the team in the fall preseason.
And that's why Dave Van Horn stuck with the veteran at Hunter Dietz. I'll be honest, at 100 pitches, a guy who's 2 for 2 against him, I thought that might be when he'd make the move. 2 right-handers in the bullpen, but he believes in him, and understandably so.
Absolutely.
And he's going to go with a right-handed hitter again against the lefty.
You know, you want to try to, if you can get him through this inning, and then you can start your bullpen guy with a clean inning. I mean, you always want to try to do that. When you're bringing a guy out of the bullpen, if he can start with a clean slate, you're always feeling much more confident with that. And here you are in this part of the order. You got a couple of freshmen in Hines. You got a freshman here in Kroberger. You'd love to see the veteran Dietz be able to get through this lineup, and then you turn it over to the bullpen in the 7th.
Little chopper to short. Gobbled up there, and the play made to first by Koschel. So Neal gives Bama the lead for the second time. Left center field, Park wouldn't hold it, and the Tide enjoys the 2-1 lead. Fay, okay, they'll cut him some slack. It's not a no-hitter, as was the case a few weeks ago here at the Joe, but pretty good nonetheless. 6 innings, 4 hits, a run with a couple of walks and 4 strikeouts. You get 6 innings, 98 pitches again from the right-hander Alan Dunn, and setting the table for what's been a pretty good bullpen for the Tide.
Absolutely. Tyler Fay, you look what he did again. He keeps your team in the game. He gives up 1 run, located all of his pitches, and just what we're accustomed to seeing him on a Friday night. Now you turn it over to Matthew Heiberger, and he's 6'3", 215 out of Birmingham, junior. You look at his numbers and what he's been able to do. Is on for his 13th appearance, 2-0 with a 2.4 18 2/3. You look at the punch out, 17, a little high on the walks, but he is really, these last few appearances, he's really been able to find the zone more consistently, and this is a huge part of this Tide bullpen. Hitters are only hitting 177 off of him. He doesn't give up a lot of hard hit contact, just needs to stay consistently in the zone, make them earn everything they get, and hopefully he's a guy that can go multiple innings as well.
I think you'd say Hagen Banks has been the primary closer with 2 saves and an ERA at 1, but Heiberger has made more appearances than anybody else. This is in SEC play I'm referencing. It's his 8th appearance. He too has a 1-0 record, and he's got a save as well, but the ERA at 2.89 is great in this bridge situation.
Big piece. Again, probably one of the most athletic guys on the field. He's got that body you look at, and there's just so much more room to even get more physical. Fastball, he can work up anywhere from 90 to 95. It's got a great move. It just moves all over the place. And just a guy that, again, sometimes the command can kind of erode on him. But then he's shown the ability during that time to be able to come back and make pitches when he needs to. So this is the guy that they try to get to in the ball game.
2 balls and a strike to count, and that one just missed inside as the count goes to 3-1.
And this Aloy's a guy that he has that home run power as well. You don't want to leave a cookie here, but you also don't want to walk him. So that's one thing that, you know, you just put a run up on the board, and you know, you want to see your guys come in and make them earn it. That's the thing that gets them back in the game. Giving up free bases, that gets them back in the game. But Heiberger also has the ability to get the ground ball as well. Almost a 55% ground ball guy. So, you know, a chance to roll one up right now and negate this walk.
Micah New is going to be the pinch hitter after Kuhio Aloy was able to reach on a base on balls, and the first time tonight that the leadoff man's been able to reach for the Razorbacks. Talk about just how that little piece mentally maybe changes the dynamic for a team.
Listen, it is huge. It is huge. I've always felt like that there were 4 things for me is that if you're getting that leadoff hitter out 60, 70, 80% of the time, you're going to be in a lot of baseball games. And we said that going into this inning, Alabama had retired all 5. And now you give up that leadoff hitter out. I mean, get the leadoff hitter on. That changes the whole complexion of what this inning is, how your defense plays, and what you're looking to do. So that's a big thing, and for the Arkansas offense.
Mechanicsburg, PA, the hometown of Micah New. He started his career at Marshall, then went to UNO. Originally out of Trinity High School in Pennsylvania. 0-1 pitch. Missed. And it's 1-1.
I think we have a lot of umpires and the fans that think we kind of missed one there. What do you think?
I was going to say the pitch missed, according to our plate umpire Joe Harris, and Bama fans are wanting to know where. 1-1. Ground ball back up the middle and off the foot of Heiberger. A heck of a recovery, though, on the part of Alabama's second baseman Brennan Holt to get the out. That could have been 2 with some fortune, but it could have been first and second. Nobody out with misfortune.
Absolutely. Just off the foot. Great job by Holt. Didn't panic. And listen, this is one thing I think that has kind of been overlooked a little bit from the Crimson Tide. Their defense, especially the last month, has been really, really solid. And that's, you help your pitchers out. I mean, that's going to go down as a 1-4-3 double play, kind of a hockey save there by Heiberger. But you're right, it could have been a double play ball, but hey, listen, in that situation, you get an out, you feel fortunate because that could have been first and second and nobody out.
Yeah.
And then that creates an inning.
Sean Stryker, the athletic trainer, came out along with pitching coach Jason Jackson to make sure that he's all right. And Heiberger, after one pitch, says, "I'm good." Here's TJ Pompey. Right-handed hitting third baseman who's 0 for 2. A strikeout and a flyout, but the tying run now standing in scoring position with just one gone. Breaking ball hammered, but foul down that left field line. Boy, he had plenty of pop in that one. Just missed his 7th home run of the year, but slightly ahead of it as the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Fastball in. One out, a man at second, 2 balls and a strike to count to Pompey, and that one bounces away from Lim, but since it went toward third base, runner out at second, a little conservative there, and Eloy opted to stay near the bag.
This is a big pitch in this game right now.
Swing and a miss to get the count full at 3-2.
And if he can come back and execute that same pitch, this is the pitch that has given Pompey struggles, hitting 167 on breaking balls that kind of go to the back of the zone.
Beautiful pitch for a called third strike.
Or you can just dot up a fastball in the outer third and get him looking. It's just, again, what a great located pitch. Middle of the plate, down, great angle. The only thing you can do with that is maybe hit it on the ground, or you take it, grip, big punch out by Heiberger, and now you can't let up. This is where you got to make your pitches, and Rotenberg's had a good night. Two of the 3 hits have come from him.
Fisted foul and out of play from Carter Rutenbar. Slap foul left side. He's gotten closer and closer to fair territory on each pitch.
This is a good looking hitter, Chris. You can tell that he has good bat to ball skills. He's not overmatched. He knows his strengths. This is good. This would be a big pitch. You get this hitter out right now. This would be a big feather in Heiberger's cap.
Tough out though. Takes one high. Freshman is Rutenbar, 5'11", 195, Midlothian, Texas. Played at Heritage High School in Midlothian. The 1-2. Rings him up for a called third strike. Joe Harris, dramatic with the call, as the lefty works his way out of the jam. Still a 2-1 Bama lead. Tide comes to bat here during the stretch. What a ball game we've got going here in Tuscaloosa. 7th inning stretch time at the Joe. 2-1 Alabama advantage. Some of the storylines. Hines, the rocket over the scoreboard and left, made it 1-0 at the time. Arkansas in the 5th was able to tie it up on this shot to the wall. They tried, though, to take the lead on the same play, but a great relay from LeBron would cut down the would-be go-ahead run, and then Brady Neal was able to slug the solo home run, bringing us where we are now, a 2-1 Alabama advantage. 3 hits for the Tide, 2 of them solo home runs, and Gabe Gackle will do his best to make sure that that's the last run to cross for the Crimson Tide.
Gabe Gackle had been in the rotation. Now they put him back in the bullpen. That's what he's done in his career prior to this year. One of the best arms in the country going into the season. A lot of accolades, and you see those numbers, 3-3 with a 4.06, 37 innings, 42 punch outs in the starting role. But this is a guy that has swing and miss stuff. He's going to work. Fastball is going to be 92 to 95. He's got a hard 12-6 breaking ball. He is you look at these right here, D1 freshman All-American. Look what he did in the NCAA tournament. And just going to be one of the higher on the board to be one of the higher drafted picks in the country. But he's just, it's kind of been a struggle in the rotation, and so they had to make a change and say, hey, we got to get our team going, and we got to get him maybe going to the things that he can do. But this is an elite arm in this league.
Following an elite performance from Hunter Dietz, who went 6 innings through 107 pitches, 67 of them strikes. He faced 25 hitters, uncorked a wild pitch, 3 walks, but he had 9 strikeouts. Gave up 3 hits. Unfortunately for him, 2 of them were solo home runs, as that fastball to Luke Vaughn is in there for the first strike, and it's 3-1.
And this is just an old-fashioned SEC Friday night matchup in the SEC. I mean, these are the games that you're going to play in situations like that. Who can win the 1- and 2-run games?
So Vaughn draws the leadoff walk, and that will bring up Brennan Holt, the Alabama second baseman. Holt 0 for 1 with a walk tonight. Drew that base on balls in the 5th after grounding out in the 3rd. Shows bunt, but takes the pitch for strike 1.
Which is a huge part of the Alabama offense. You've seen it all season. They're going to go station to station at times. They love going 1st to 3rd. They're not afraid to put the safety squeeze down. Whatever it takes to manufacture, and you got guys that are buying in the roles that they're in, and they know what their role is, especially hitting 9-hole here, and he can handle the bat. I'm assuming you're going to see this bunt. And you look right here at the Alabama offense this season, where they rank in all those categories.
Tries to roll it left side, but it goes foul, and the count goes 0-2. I know you're a pitching coach majority of your career, but as a skip, what's your philosophy on bunting with 2 strikes? Don't.
No.
Okay, I can tell from the reaction. I could tell real quick what my answer was going to be. Apparently, it's one that Rob Vaughn shares with you there as the count goes to 1-2. So not even in the sacrifice spot, huh?
No,
Is it just tougher in college?
Yeah, I think it's tough anywhere. I mean, you just, hey, and especially the way Holt handles the bat. He's got really good bat-to-ball skills. I'm going to give him a chance to,
put it in play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did he check his swing? He did. At least according to third base umpire Vic Correll. So 2 balls, 2 strikes with nobody out. Big insurance run over at first base. It's not too early to call it an insurance run, is it? In the 7th?
Well, I think if you look at the way
it's not insurance. They're still trying to build wealth right now, right? Okay.
Exactly.
We'll go another term.
See, and this is what Holt does. I mean, he's making Gackle work. You know, he's already 5 pitches in. Turn that, you know, get the ball, put the ball in play. Maybe you move him over on a weak ground ball. Or hey, better than that, you get yourself a walk and then you turn it over to Fowler to the top.
There you see Fowler in the on-deck circle, top of the order for the Tide. Big payoff pitch due to Brennan Holt. Rips it through the hole right side for a base hit. Digging around second, heading for third, and arriving safely will be Vaughn. And Bama's got him on the corners here in the 7th with nobody out. The top of the order standing at the plate.
Just a phenomenal job. Look at this. Down, he goes and gets it. Great bat to ball skills. Hits it in that 4-hole. And now you go first to third. And Brennan Holt, I'm telling you, this is the spark plug in this lineup that gets overlooked of what he's doing in that 9-hole.
Visit to the mound for the Razorbacks. Chance to talk things over here.
And this is the guy. This is the guy that they want in the game. I mean, Gackle is their guy. I mean, he was in the rotation. He's already been. You know, you look at his career. Had 7 saves last year out of the bullpen as a closer. He's at 190 punch outs and 150 innings of work. He's got swing and miss stuff. And this is the guy this is the part of the game that Matt Hobbs, the pitching coach, is trusting in. They're going to trust Gackle, I think, in this situation.
So after Coach Hobbs makes the visit to the mound, they end the discussion pretty quickly. And the Tide center fielder and leadoff hitter Bryce Fowler will stand in. He walked his first time up. Since then, a fly out and a strikeout looking. He chops the first pitch foul. And it's 0-1.
And this is that situation where Coach Vaughn loves to put the safety squeeze on in situations. I don't know that with Fowler up, who does have the ability to hit a gapper, but he also can handle the bat.
He's thinking fly ball or anything to the right side. Am I off there?
No, definitely. You get something to that side. You're obviously going to get the run. And man, if you hit it hard enough, you keep the double, them from turning one.
Right. But he's down 0-2. And there's a chopper, and it may be 2, but it will get a run in. And it will not be a double play. He runs too well. Fowler with the RBI. A force out at second, and Bama adds to its lead. It's now 3-1.
This is such a great job of hitting. That is Gackle's MO pitch. That's that hard 12-6 curveball. He threw it in the great spot. Just a great job of hitting. And then the speed.
The speed, but also, Coach, getting out of that batter's box as quickly as he did.
Just
he wasn't settling for the double play to get the run in.
Great point. And you just can't you can't teach experience and heart, and my desire to get to first before you turn that double play on me is greater than. Now it was a ball that was really a hard double play turn because it had that one extra hop, but great job of getting out and preventing that from happening and getting the run in, which is critical.
So with LeBron at the plate, 0 for 3 tonight, the average down to 261. Do you start the runner right here, try to put something in motion?
I think with Fowler, you can almost you can almost go straight still if you want, because he obviously has the ability. He's got 14 bags.
Right. Good cut, but he came up empty on a nice breaking ball. LeBron couldn't catch up to.
You might do something. You might get something going right now in a 1-1 count. Because Gackle's about a 1.35, 1.4 to the plate, which is definitely something Fowler can get.
That was a really good breaking ball, but an even better eye on the part of Fowler. Is that one just, or excuse me, LeBron? Is that one just missed?
Now your 2-1 count. It's that count that you maybe get that pitch to handle. Love to see him go in the 4-hole if he could stay on it.
He knows that was the pitch too, Coach.
He's pitching him right there,
yeah.
you know, and that's what LeBron has done so well, is take the ball oppo, and I think that's his struggle. He hasn't been able to do damage to the right side of the field.
See if he gets another opportunity. Sometimes you only see one pitch like that and then at bat, don't you?
My guess is 2-2 right now. You're probably going to see his strikeout pitch, which is that hard 12-6 curveball. And, you know, good pitch to run on, but it's also a pitch that, you know, you might get LeBron on strikes if you can execute it.
Ground ball. There, get the play at first. But LeBron gets the runner to second base in scoring position. Not ideal for LeBron, but finally for him, I guess he's thinking positive at bat, hoping it'll give him a little spark next time up.
Especially with that, that's a good breaking ball. I mean, this guy's got an elite breaking ball. It didn't have that last little bit of click, I call that.
Right.
That didn't quite get to the bottom of the zone. But hey, LeBron, he didn't try to pull it, because he tries to pull it, he's out.
Right.
He went with it. Now you got a runner in scoring position with 2 outs, and they're probably going to walk him. Yes.
They are. Neal's going to be given the free pass, and that'll set up the force to face Torres, who's 0 for 3 on the night.
And is one of your top RBI guys as well. I mean, that's one thing that Torres has done his entire career, is drive in runs. And a lot of times with 2 outs, he has been a master at driving in runs in situations like this.
So Torres, the Bama third baseman, standing in with 2 gone and 2 on. Whiffs at slider at 87.
Don't know that he's going to see anything but that. And just continue to work him, probably work him off the plate with that hard spin, because that is his strike, swing and miss pitch.
One ball, 1 strike to the veteran. Down and away.
This is the pitch of the inning. 2-1 count. You don't want to give in to him, but now you got Johnny Lim on deck who could make this who could hit one in the seats easily. So you got to make a pitch right now in this count.
That one's going to get past the catcher, Helfrich, which is a rarity. Let's see if it goes as a wild pitch. I believe it does. But one that Helfrich normally would come up with. I think he's frustrated with himself right there.
Yeah, I think he is too. If we look again, just a yanked.
Yeah,
looked like he kind of, I'm sure if he had that to do over, he's getting in front of it, and he just tried to whiff it. And now you got 2 in scoring position with a 3-1 count.
Big Big moment in this one. Bama trying to pad the lead as Torres cues that one foul right off the end of the bat.
I just can't. If he gets a heater, Chris, I think he's going to go to the top of the zone, maybe to get a swing and miss. But most likely, you're probably seeing that hard slider down. If he misses, then you turn your attention to the next hitter.
Breaking ball swung on and missed, and a heck of a pitch by Gackle to get out of the jam. But Alabama tacks on another run, making it a 3-1 advantage, but Gackle making sure the Tide stays right there. Along with Alan Dunn, I'm Chris Stewart, back with you at Sewell Thomas Stadium on the campus of the University of Alabama. Beautiful night in Tuscaloosa. A scoreboard that favors the home folks as well. And Matthew Heiberger, his second inning of relief work for the Crimson Tide. You see the ERA is down, the opponent batting average down as well, and he's become a major part of this Bama bullpen.
And started off the early part of the season a little struggle with his command and trying to find his way. He didn't pitch in the fall, and it takes you a little bit to get into your flow of your game, and he's been a guy that they've been turning the ball to, especially in situations like this. And his stuff, the 177 batting average against, that tells you about his stuff. What he needs right now, you want to get that lead off hitter right now to start this 8th inning.
0-2 pitch, lifted towards left, well hit, going back, looking and watching it sail over the wall is Kroberger, and just like that, the Razorbacks able to make it a 1-run game. Kojal on an 0-2, able to lift it over the wall and make this, again, just a 1-run game.
And you look at this swing, Chris. Kojal is so strong. Look at this. Elevated, goes oppo with it, but he's got the strength. And this is what they knew this young man can do. He's done it his whole career. And he comes up there with a big blast to break it a 3-2 game.
And now you've got one of the most dangerous hitters anywhere coming to the plate in Helfrich. The average may be sub 300, but despite being 0 for 3 tonight, you know, there's a little juice running through the veins, just like it is for the rest of that Arkansas dugout after they get their first long ball of the night. Comebacker gets past the pitcher, and a nice job at second base by Holt. Heiberger flagged at it, but Holt was able to get to it and make the play for out number 1.
Look at this great jump that he gets, rounds the ball, has enough arm strength to throw across his body. Great play to get that with that first out. And Holt, again, just continues to play on both sides of the ball. And
all right, so I'm going to go like I'm at home, and I'm going to ask the question, what in the heck was he just looking at? Talk about the card that he's
he's looking at where he's playing.
Okay.
You know, they've got this, hey, where are we going to play every hitter? And so they're hey, 2 steps, 3 steps, whatever it is that they've got on their scouting report, and they're going to do it accordingly. As you see him shaded towards the 4-hole, and then LeBron's going to come with him. So they're going to take away that middle to the whole side of the field, thinking that Souza is going to pull middle to pull hitter.
One offering line, and that's going to get past Vaughn and down into the corner. It'll be 2 for Souza as he drops anchor with a 1-out double. And the Razorbacks showing some life at the plate.
Great swing. Rolled that top hand over, just lightning bat speed. Kept it in the line. And how big was that play by Holt? Whew. Now, and when you're Heiberger, hey, you got 1 out. Okay, you give up a double, but you have 1 out. You got to make pitches. And this is the heart of the lineup. And this is where they've been struggling, as Coach Van Horn said. We got to get the middle of our lineup going, and this is an opportunity for Arkansas to do some things that they have not been able to do.
Zach Stewart takes the 90-mile-per-hour fastball for strike 1. Stewart, the right fielder, who's 0 for 1 with a walk, and he's been hit by a pitch. He rolls this one through the whole right side. They're going to send the runner to the plate. Here comes the throw from Neal, and it is not in time. And the Hogs have tied it at 3 apiece. The throw looked as though it had enough on it, but maybe was just offline enough that Lim couldn't get back and make the tag. Or it was just late. The throw was a tad late, but it was on the money.
Just a good job by Stewart. We talked about him, a guy, hey, listen, he has 719 bats in college baseball, 50 homers. He's seen a lot of things, and that ball was just slider and just elevated enough that he finds that 4-hole. But the thing is, for Alabama, you're still, you know, it's a 3-3 game. You can't let this one, you know, get away right now and have a huge inning. You just manage your pitches. And Heiberger is a great guy to get a ground ball. You could turn one over and you go in 3-3 game and then go to work offensively.
Joe Harris breaking up the meeting between Jason Jackson. There's the closer, Tegan Banks. But as you said, ideally, they'll wait to go to him, especially when you got an opportunity for lefty versus lefty.
Absolutely,
here.
But this is a Heiberger Banks game now on. I mean, it's you regardless of what happens here, Banks is your next guy up, and you know, you're going to try to win this game in this part of it right now, both ways.
First pitch swinging. Robinette comes up empty. Reese Robinette 0 for 3. See his numbers on the year. Does have a long ball. That first cut was a home run swing. That fastball at 93 misses outside.
And Robinette, he only has 1 home run on the year, but he also has 10 doubles. So he's got some pop in the bat that you just can't think that, hey, lay something in there. And so you got to make really quality pitches down. Maybe he rolls over something, or you get your punch out. I mean, ideally, that's what you're looking for right now. And I hadn't seen a lot of negative things happen when you're punching guys out.
True. 233 hitter. Are you thinking double play ball, or are you thinking just go at him and get the strikeout?
I mean, if he could get that slider down in a way you get the punch out, or he can elevate a heater up at 93. So that's a huge pitch right there by Heiberger. Look at the elevation of this. He climbs the ladder. Robinette can't get on top. Big punch out. If he can get out with this at a 3-3 game, you feel good if you're Alabama, and they may go to. I don't know if he goes to Banks here.
Well, you got a right-handed hitter due up, and there's conversation on the Arkansas side of things. Would imagine there's a little convo going on in the Bama dugout as well.
Absolutely.
But you've got Kuhio Aloy due up for the Razorbacks, and they're making sure they're all on the same page right now. Aloy 0 for 2 with a walk. Also had a fly out and a strikeout. There you saw Jason Jackson looking things over. Pitching coach, and Rob Vaughn says, look, I have the utmost confidence in that guy. He's dealing with my pitchers and making the calls and decisions, and trust him implicitly. Fastball strike at the belt. Gets Heiberger ahead in the count. I think we got a pinch runner.
Number 24, Landon Schaefer.
It will be Landon Schaefer who will pinch run for Stewart. Look for Schaefer to likely stay in the game and play right field. Grounded sharply off the glove of Torres and down the third base line. Getting there is Kroberger, and he'll get it back in time to keep the runner at third. Is pulling in with the double is Aloy. Hot smash. Torres maybe had a chance, but this would have been asking a lot.
That ball was smoked. Aloy, he hits the ball as hard as anybody in the country, and looks like Jason Jackson is going to make that move now. Which,
yeah, you have to, don't you?
Yeah, you do. And
if not, because if not, you may not have a situation for Banks in the next inning.
100% correct. And listen, when you have an opportunity to right now, obviously you got to stay in the game,
right?
And then you stay in the game, you give yourself a chance to win the game. So you gotta sell out now, because getting a win is hard, and you got to do everything you can to get that first one.
We'll tell you about Hagan Banks when we come back. Razorbacks trying to take their first lead of the night when we return. Well, Bama enjoyed a 3-1 lead until the solo home run for the Razorbacks. Got it to 3-2, and then Stewart with the RBI single knots the score at 3 apiece, and now the Hogs are looking for their first lead of the night. If they can do something against the 5th-year senior in Hagan Banks, 6'4", 210, out of Plainville, Georgia.
Hagan Banks, this has been their go-to guy. You look at that, 1-0 with a 15 innings, 12 hits, 17 punches, and only 4 walks. He's on for the 11th time, and this is the guy that's been getting outs at the end of the ball game. You're in that part of the game now. You got to keep it right here at 3-3. You go with your money man, and hopefully he can find a way to make a pitch to get him in the dugout at a 3-3 game.
Got his 5th save of the year at Oklahoma. Got all 3 men that he faced last weekend, securing the series win on Sunday for the Tide. Ground ball to short, bobbled, picked up, and the throw is off the mark. LeBron with a 2-base, 2-run error, and Alabama trails Arkansas 5-3. Got the ground ball you wanted to the player you wanted it hit to. But LeBron, the miscue, allows 2 runs to score.
It's just hard to see what, hey, just, I don't know if the ball came up on him. And then, you know, the rush throw that.
Runner goes, throw misses, gets away from the second baseman, Holt, but not far enough for the runner to advance.
And, you know, we talked about Arkansas. Those are the things they haven't been getting. And all of a sudden now you find a ball hitting the 4-hole, you score a run. Now you hit a ball down the line that comes off the hitter's glove, and now you got a ball that, you know, 9 times out of 10, LeBron's going to make that play, and just unable to make it.
And Pompey hammers one to left, and this one is gone, and the Hogs have added to their lead. The Pigs have woken up. A 6-run 8th has taken Arkansas from down 3-1 to up 7-3.
High fastball, middle in. He's cheating on it. He got his pitch, and he has home run power, and just got a pitch in his wheelhouse. I think if you're Alabama, you're probably at this point, you know, being down at this point of the game 7-3 here in the 8th.
Buying time for guys to get loose right now.
Absolutely. You're thinking of Banks as the guy that you don't. I mean, listen, you're not conceding the game. What I'm not saying that, but
no,
you got to give.
This is not a situation for him right now anymore.
Absolutely.
And Jason Jackson is going to come out. He'll take his time doing so. And the right-hander, excuse me, the lefty, Evan Stegmesser, looks like, if not ready, they're telling him get ready quickly.
You got 8 or whatever it is when you can. When you
get out
come
there
in the game, they give you minutes, I think. But
so just like that, Arkansas completely flips this game. Bama was cruising up 3-1, and this all started on an 0-2 pitch to begin the inning. It was an 0-2 count to, I believe, Souza. He goes oppo, and the Hogs have been swinging it ever since. See if Stegmesser can end it when we come back. Arkansas, with 6 runs in the 8th, has taken a 7-3 lead. 4th pitching change of the game for Alabama. That guy is the one that flipped things when he hit the solo home run to start this 8th inning. That's Kozel. And he did it on an 0-2 pitch. Went the opposite way, and more hits in this frame than they had in the first 7 combined, and obviously the run total looking dramatically different as well, Alan Dunn.
And you know, we've talked about it throughout the course of the game in the beginning, and talked about Arkansas and the talent level. And you just, I mean, you know, at some point you're going to have a game where you kind of break things out. And they've had some guys that have not been doing it. As you talked about Kozel, who started it off. That's a guy they've been counting on. He gets it going. You got Stewart, who's a veteran, hits the ball in the hole. And then you got Aloy, who's one of the DH of the year last year, hits the ball hard down the line. So, you know, they got the production this inning from the guys that have not been doing it. And now if you're Alabama, you got to keep it right here. You got 2 more chances at it, and you can't give up another one now.
6 outs that Arkansas still has to get, but Alabama's got to find a way to get the 3rd here in the 8th. The lefty from Huntsville, Alabama, Evan Steckmesser, on the hill. 12th appearance for him. Saw the numbers as this one's chopped out to second. Holt makes the play easily. And that'll do it for the Razorbacks, but not as spirited among the Bama faithful as we go to the bottom of the 8th. 7-3 now. Arkansas on top. Boy, what a difference a half inning can make. Arkansas down 3-1 going to the 8th. Now working with a 7-3 lead, and they've got a new pitcher in the ball game, Ethan McIlvain, the Thompson Station, Tennessee native, 6'4", 250. Just a junior, but pretty good numbers. For the left-hander.
Another one of those guys. You look at the physical body. Just this is what they look like. This is the type arm that they have. He's gonna, you know, his fastball is gonna get up to the mid to high 90s. He's a guy that was a transfer in, pitched at Vanderbilt last year. In the rotation, came here. They've got him in the pen, trying to use his skill set, which is elite stuff. Sometimes the command can kind of erode, but listen, this is a tough at bat. He's really found the strike zone. You only can see 6 walks on 29 punches in 16 innings. So this is going to be tough sledding for the Tide these next 2 innings.
They'll try to start things off with the left-handed hitting catcher, John Lim. Brisbane, Australia native. Hitting 5th in the order. Trying to get some base runners aboard for the Crimson Tide. It's a breaking ball for strike one. See the numbers tonight for Lim. Does have a walk, but 0 for 2 otherwise. This had been a fast-moving game due to the fact that pitchers were cutting up hitters left and right. And even when hitters did their damage, it was quick. 3 solo home runs among the first 5 that were scored. But now it's slowed a bit, but Alabama's fine if it slows down more as they've got a man aboard. Lim hit by a pitch. Tell from the reaction that one stung a bit as it got him in the back.
That doesn't feel good. I've never been hit like that, but it just looks like it would hurt. And but hey, he'll do whatever it takes to get on that first base bag and get this in. Hopefully, get this this inning doing something here. When you got you got Hines, who has been the offensive prowess for the Tide with 2 for 3 there. We see.
Had a single in the 4th and a solo homer to start the game, scoring in the 2nd. He did strike out against the Arkansas starter Dietz, who finally figured him out after giving up a pair of hits to the freshman DH for the Crimson Tide. Talked about his athleticism as he's down 0-2. Had a friend who texted me, said, hey, you better believe he's an athlete. I officiated one of his basketball games at American Christian Academy here in Tuscaloosa his freshman year. Said there was a loose ball under the goal. He bent down, picked it up, jumped off 2 feet for a 2-handed dunk as a 9th grader. Yeah, that doesn't guarantee you'll hit home runs over a scoreboard at Sewell Thomas Stadium, but it does indicate you've got some incredible athletic ability.
But we've seen that too. We've seen the ball go over the scoreboard. So
we did indeed.
And this is a good match. He loves the heater. Obviously, McIlvain has got juice. This is a 2-2 pitch that this might be power against power.
Two balls, 2 strikes with a runner at first and nobody out here in the Bama 8th. Line, that's going to get out, and it's going to get to the gap in right center field. Heading for 3rd and arriving standing will be Lim, and Bama's got him on the corners to begin this 8th inning. Still a lot of work to be done, but look, a nice way to start the frame.
What a great at bat. Got that elevated fastball, kind of running away from him, and look at that. What a disciplined approach. Had enough juice to hit it in the gap. Listen, this kid is really starting to obviously come on, and I think Coach Vaughn and them felt like that it was going to happen just how quickly, and they're getting rewarded for being patient with him and bringing him along at a pace that he can do some things, and he's really earning his keep right now.
So here's the left fielder, Chase Oberger. Or Kroberger, excuse me. He's ahead, 1 ball and no strikes. Kroberger 0 for 3. A fly out, 2 ground outs. Pops this one up a mile high on the infield. Looks like it's going to stay in play, and it will for Helfrich, and that is a tough out right there for Alabama. Not just the fact that it's the first of the frame, but the fact that you didn't get anybody over. It's a tough at bat for the freshman. So now 1 gone, and a ground ball to the right spot could get Arkansas out of this, but Vaughn, who walked and scored in the 7th. Will try to keep from doing that. Takes a fastball low, 1-0. See Vaughn's numbers on the year and the night. 6 home runs indicate he is capable of turning this into a 1-run game with one swing of the bat. But he hits this one to shallow right center, and it's going to be an easy play for the second baseman, Robinette, or excuse me, Souza, for out number 2. So a heck of a job on the part of McIlvaine after giving up a hit batsman and then a base hit to get a pop out. Actually one in foul territory and one barely out of the infield. And you see what the Tide has not done tonight with men in scoring position and how they've stranded men on base. That fastball almost clipped the 9-hole hitter, Brennan Holt. Here's a strike at the knees to even things up at 1-1. Another strike down in the zone to get it to 1-2. Two out, men on the corners. The 1-2 upstairs, and it's 2-2. Foul tip, just got a piece of it.
Just find some way to put this ball in play if you're Holt. Easier said than done. McIlvaine obviously is these last 2 hitters, he's been able to turn it up a notch. But if you're Holt, you're just trying to move the ball here with 2 strikes and just put the ball in play.
Called strike 3. Beautiful pitch. Holt couldn't pull the trigger, and McIlvaine, after giving up a hit batsman and a single to start the frame, gets the next 3 in order. We roll to the 9th. Hogs enjoying a 7-3 lead. Well, there's one guy out there having a good time. Otherwise, the home folks pretty disappointed. 7-3. Arkansas leading Alabama, a 6-run eighth, putting Arkansas in position. And Alabama, its first home loss in 19 games. The Tide's riding the longest win streak at home in Division I at the moment, but that is very much in jeopardy as the Hogs bat here in the top of the ninth, up 4 runs. Guy that flipped the switch on that rally an inning ago, Camden Kojal, the shortstop, hit a solo home run with a 2-strike count. Got it over the left field wall, and that ignited what would be a 6-run frame. Pretty breaking ball. But just missed the mark. Steckmesser dealing. And the count goes to 2-2.
But you knew with Kojal, he's just a guy that, you know, we kind of talked about it like with LeBron at the end of the year. You look up and most likely their stats are going to kind of equal who they are. I mean, it's just, you can't only contain them for a certain time. I mean, Kojal had, you know, first year at Arkansas, 60 games, hit 15 homers, 18 doubles, 62 RBIs. So, I mean, this is a guy that's accustomed to hitting. And then when you're down, he gets the big swing, kind of starts the rolling. And this is the guy that they've been, you know, they've been waiting to get going, and he's done it tonight.
Again, he was down in the count 0-2. He's battled back to even it up, and now works the count full. Bama trying to keep this just a 4-run deficit with the top of the order due up. Popped up over our heads and out of play. It'll stay at 3-2.
You know, if you could find a way to keep it at this point, 7-3 going into the bottom, and hey, you know, a couple of hits here, a couple of hits there, walk, and then all of a sudden you bring up the guy to the top of the plate that, you know, maybe runs into one. So you got to, this is a huge inning to keep a run off the board, to give yourself an opportunity going into the bottom half.
Good news, you got the top of the order due up. The bad news, the top of the order is 1 for 10 tonight, or 1 for 9 actually. Had it right the first time. Should have trusted my math. Up to 10. I don't concern myself anything north of that, but 10 I should have stuck with. Fastball misses away, and it's 2-0. Now to the catcher, Helfrich. 0 for 4 tonight. A couple of ground outs, actually 3 of them, and a strikeout. Breaking ball away, and the count goes to 3-0. Here's a strike. Get it to 3-1. Good cut, but only got a piece of it, and the count's now full at 3-2. 1 out, nobody aboard for Arkansas here at the top of the ninth as they work with the 7-3 lead. Swing and a miss. Foul tip held on to by Lim. A nice job from the Bama catcher to get the second out.
that maybe a little cutter that just stayed on plane there. And nice job by Steckmesser of coming out, getting the first two hitters out of this inning to keep your team in it. That's what you're looking for. Can you put up a 0 to give us a chance?
Cleanup hitter Souza lines it foul. 0-1 the count. Souza doubled in a run. Excuse me, doubled and scored a run, I should say, in the 8th. A couple of ground outs prior to that. In his first at bat, he drew a walk but was stranded at first. Reach back for a little something extra on that breaking ball, but snapped it a little bit too much. Counts 1-2. Little roller, and with a shift on, Torres will make the play for out number 3. Bama's down to its final 3 outs. Arkansas trying to get a big Friday night win to start the series. Along with Alan Dunn, I'm Chris Stewart, back with you at Sewell Thomas Stadium in Tuscaloosa. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the Crimson Tide, which led this one through the first 7 frames. But in the top of the 8th, the Hogs exploded for 6 runs. And now Bama hoping they can mount a similar rally with the top of the order due up against the left-hander, Ethan McIlvaine, his 2nd frame of work. He worked a scoreless 8th, even though he allowed the first 2 men to reach in that inning before he got 2 pop-outs and a strikeout to end the threat, leaving men stranded at 1st and 3rd for the Crimson Tide. Fowler's reached twice. Lines that one foul, and it's 1-1. Hit into a fielder's choice in the 7th that plated a run. He's also drawn a walk. Had a fly out, the strikeout. Arkansas has definitely cooled off the Bama bats for the majority of the night. The pair of solo home runs scored the first 2 runs for Alabama. Here's the young man who hit the first one. And Eric Hines. Brady Neal delivered the other. There's a fastball that just missed. Here's Neal, who would love to have a chance to duplicate his at-bat. with a couple of men aboard. That one came too high and tight and caught Fowler on the shoulder. That's the second hit batsman by McIlvaine, but that is really kind of only adds, it's only his third hit batsman of the year, but it kind of adds to his effectiveness, doesn't it? I mean, a big guy, kind of intimidating, the old Goose Gossage look to the beard and mustache there, but you know, if you can't dig in comfortably, it's a little different deal. And thankfully for Alabama, Fowler appears to be okay, although that had to hurt right on the shoulder blade.
And that, you know, we talked about McIlvaine as he came into the game. You know, his time at Vanderbilt being in the starting rotation, and it was a, you know, sometimes the command and control, it kind of wavered, and so he got here to Arkansas, put him in a bullpen, which his stuff really plays for the bullpen. You know, elite fastball, he's got the slider, but again, the command and control can erode on him at times. And as you said, that's two lefties that he's hit that he didn't really look comfortable facing both of those lefties as the ball kind of got away from him. So if you're Alabama, you know, you would love to maybe be patient, make him come in the zone here and get something going and you know, create the momentum and, you know, make them have to go to the bullpen again. You know, they've only been to the bullpen now. They've only used 2 arms out of the pen, so you want to get in there as much as you can. And so there's a lot in this inning that can happen for the positive if you're Alabama.
Justin LeBron, who's 0 for 4 tonight, and also committed a costly error in that 8th inning.
Looking for base runners. You know, you need to make him work.
Popped shallow right field. That could be tough, though. Coming in and making the catch. No, it is dropped in right and heading for third and arriving safely will be Fowler, and LeBron got maybe the break. He's been needing to get out of the slump, but Alabama doesn't care. Schaefer, who came in to replace Stewart defensively an inning ago, can't come up with this one, and the Tide will try to take advantage.
It's just in that triangle area. A lot of times you see that second baseman coming and converging as well. In that no man's land, Schaefer makes a great effort. LeBron finds the grass, and now you're first and third. You're creating something here, and you want to keep making McIlvaine work.
This is exactly what he did, though, in the 8th. He hit a man, putting him aboard, and then gave up a base hit. Next thing you know, he gets 3 straight. Let's see what happens. Runner goes, and they will surrender the stolen base to LeBron. Catcher's indifference is what they'll call that one, so no official stolen base for LeBron. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Neal. He ropes a single into right field. That's going to score at least 1, make it 2, as Schaefer bobbles it in right field. That will allow LeBron to score, and a pair of errors in this inning have given the Tide faithful hope. Only down 2 now with nobody out still.
Fastball middle that Brady Neal has been feasting on those pitches all season. Great job of lining the ball in the gap. 2 runs in. You got your RBIs guys coming up in Torres and Lim. You're probably going to get a, yes you are, Dave Van Horn coming out. You're going to get a change. You get your closer out of the game, and now you go to that bullpen.
Arkansas has been having tough situations like this throughout the year, and Dave Van Horn, despite getting some good pitches thrown by McIlvaine, is going to have to make a change right here. So Alabama trying to get up off the deck. Down, but only by 2. Still nobody out in the 9th when we come back. New pitcher in the ball game for the Razorbacks, Parker Coyle, being called on. 6'3", 195, the Edmond, Oklahoma native, trying to put out the Bama fire as the Tides rallied to score 2 with a little help from the Hogs, but still nobody out and 2 on the board for Bama already.
And you look at Coyle, he's a guy on for the 14th time, and this is one of their go-to guys. You look at those numbers, 28 punch-outs and only 4 walks in 22 2/3. He's a guy that, you know, he's going to give you a fastball, a 4-seamer, 88 to 90. He's going to give you a cutter, 84 to 86. And he's a guy that they've been giving the ball to in situations like this.
See what Bama has done tonight. 5 of 9 in the leadoff spot, but not everything you'd like to see with men on base. Trying to rally, though, here in the 9th. Torres takes a breaking ball for strike 1. Good way to start things off for Coyle. Again, Brady Neal, the runner at first for the Crimson Tide, as Torres, who's homered 4 times this year, represents the tying run. Fly ball, center field. Pretty well hit, but playable for New, and he'll make the grab for out number 1. Just a tad late on that one.
Yeah, it looked like it was that he does use the cut fastball a lot. It looks like he may have cut that in on his hands just enough to get it off the barrel.
So 1 out now. And Lim, the catcher, takes a strike. Lim's grounded out, struck out, but he's also walked and been hit by a pitch, so he's reached safely twice. Takes that one way outside. Nice stab by Helfrich, keeping Neal at first. Razorbacks would love a ground ball to end this one. But Lim would love to get his 6th home run of the year to tie it up. Little grounder right side. They'll settle for 1. Getting the out there, and not a double play ball anyway, but Neal stands at second. And the Tide's down to its final out. But it's the man who started the scoring in this ball game back in the 2nd when the freshman Eric Hines hit it over the scoreboard. An at-bat that's frankly even more important right now. Last chance for the Tide. Hines representing the tying run. And he had the home run cut, but he fisted it foul. And it's 0-1. What a night he's had, though. The solo homer in the 2nd, a single in the 4th, and another one in the 8th. He did strike out looking in the 6th. 3 for 4 for the Tuscaloosa native, a freshman from nearby American Christian Academy. Fooled him on that one, and he's down 0-2.
I tell you one thing that you've loved in Hines this game is he's went into the box ready to hit. I mean, he is coming up and he's gonna make his swings, knowing what he can do, and he's been very aggressive all night.
But comes up empty there as Coyle puts out the Bama Fire and gives the Hogs a victory in game number 1 of the series. 7-5 your final. The Hogs 7 runs on 9 hits. Their 2 ninth-inning errors don't undo them. They leave 6 on base. Bama 5 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors as well. And the Tide strands 10. Dave Van Horn's Razorbacks snap the 18-game home win streak for the Crimson Tide, and they do so with a big punch-out of the freshman Eric Hines, who had the best night at the plate for anybody wearing the Alabama uniform, but he goes down swinging for the 2nd time on the evening, and Coyle understandably excited as he comes in to earn the save. When we come back, we'll talk to one of the stars of the game for the Razorbacks, the guy that jump-started the 6th-run 8th, when we come back. A few Arkansas faithful here in Tuscaloosa. They're the ones that get to leave with smiles on their faces as the Razorbacks rally with 6 in the 8th to claim a 7-5 victory. This is what ignited it all. Camden Kojal, on I believe an 0-2 pitch, went opposite field and was able to make it a 3-2 game at the time. Little did we know that would be the first of 6 runs that would cross in the inning. And the Hogs are able to pull off the 7-5 victory to start the series, and may have awakened a sleeping Razorback, because they are an incredibly talented team that's far better than the 5-7 mark in league play they came in with.
Absolutely, and you know, we've talked about it the whole telecast tonight of their program history and the things that they do, and Coach Van Horn and how he gets his teams ready to play. And you know, listen, there's a long way to go in this league. We talked about we're at the 15-game mark after this weekend's over, and there's a lot of baseball left, and this is a big win for the Razorbacks.
We get a chance to talk with a head man for the Razorbacks, Dave Van Horn. Coach, thank you for the time again, and congratulations. What a gutty victory for your squad here on the road.
Yeah, you know, things just weren't going our way. We, you know, I bring New off the bench, and he smokes one off the pitcher. If it doesn't hit him, it goes into center field, and you're thinking 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Next thing you know, we got to run 2nd, 1 out, and we didn't score, and then but that 8th inning was kind of magical for us. We needed that. We kept fighting, and Kojo let it off with a homer oppo with 2 strikes, and all of a sudden we cut the lead to 1. And then a lot of things just started happening. But the ball that New hit to the shortstop took it in between hop. You can see it from the side here. New can really run, and he rushed throw, threw it away. He scored 2, but you know, the big blow was Pompey's 2-run homer to give us that 4-run lead, and we needed every one of those runs.
Coach, and you know, I know talking this week with you and talking about the guys that you felt like that you needed to get going, looked like you got Stewart had the big hit, you had Kojo, and I know those are your go-to guys, and you feel good. I know you feel good with the win and about how those guys kind of stepped up for you tonight. When you needed your veterans to do it, they came through.
We sure did. You know, early in the game, it was our 2 freshmen had the first 2 hits, and you know, not much happened after that for a while. But then all of a sudden, here we go, and it was the older guys that did it for us. And yeah, got a little crazy there in the 9th, but I wouldn't expect it any other way.
Hey, not in this league, right?
It's just the way it is. It's
yeah.
just the way it is.
So talk to us real quickly, Coach, before we let you run, about how the table is set for the rest of the weekend for you now.
Well, you know, we've got to continue to, we've got to score runs. You know, they're a big, experienced, powerful old team, and you know, as far as the pitching, we're going to go with Gibbler, and obviously we used a couple of our better arms tonight. We used, you know, our starter, and then a couple 3 relievers, and we could probably use a couple of those guys again if we needed to for an out or an inning. I mean, Coyle didn't throw that many, but you know, we've got everybody in the bullpen, and it's time for some guys. They're going to have to come in, and they're going to have to pitch the next couple of days and try to get out this team somehow.
Coach, congratulations again on the victory, and thank you so much for your time.
Okay.
Much
Thanks,
appreciated.
Coach.
All right, see you guys. Thanks.
Dave Van Horn, the head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks. They are able to rally. After falling behind early, they rally late, and it's the Hogs that knock off the Tide here in Tuscaloosa. For Alan Dunn and our entire SEC Network crew, I'm Chris Stewart saying so long from Tuscaloosa, where your final score is Arkansas 7, Alabama 5. Thanks for joining us. This has been a presentation of the SEC Network.